Chapter 3479. It was possible it was best that Daing did not stay completely, and she did not die. An expert who had reached the peak of the 6 states of the void was a great threat to the Divine Moon Palace and Shower, who had regained control of the Nine-Tailed clan. However, this was within her expectations. When Shower decided to attack the Nine-Tailed clan, she already knew that it was impossible for her side to kill Daing. They could only force Daing back. This could not be helped. As for Daing's threat, she could only think of a way to deal with it in the future. In any case, the Nine-Tailed clan was now completely under Shower's control. Whoosh! In a flash, Demon Master Chenhua had returned to Jian Wushuang's side. Chenhua, congratulations on reaching the pinnacle of Principles Master. The next step should be to advance to the ruler level? Jian Wushuang looked at Demon Master Chenhua with a faint smile. I was lucky enough to take this step. As for the ruler level, how could it be so easy? Chenhua shook his head with a smile. The word ruler level was too important. It had been many years since the creation of the Divine Beginning Realm. However, after such a long time, there were very few ruler-level experts in the Divine Beginning Realm. Every one of them was extremely talented. Furthermore, they had gone through endless experiences and had definitely obtained great opportunities before they became rulers. As for the Demon Master Chenhua, if nothing had happened to the Purple Star Demon Sect, he would not have stayed in the Heaven and Earth Secret Realm for nearly 200 million years. Instead, he would have stayed in the Divine Beginning Realm or had been training in various places in the universe battlefield. Then he might still have some confidence in reaching the ruler realm, but now. He was talented, but he had wasted nearly 200 million years in the secret realm of heaven and earth, which had a great impact on him. Although he still had hope of becoming a ruler in the future, the hope was not great. Whether he could break through to become a ruler in the future depended on luck. I'm not in a hurry to become a ruler. You, on the other hand, should think of a way to break through to become a Principles Master. If you can't even break through to become a Principles Master, how can you reach an agreement with me? Demon Master Chenhua said. Principles Master. Jian Wushuang touched his nose. In fact, in terms of combat strength, he was now considered very strong among the Principles Masters of the 5 Void Realms. However, he was still an immortal saint. He did not even have the slightest sign of breaking through, let alone becoming a Principles Master. I have a feeling that I'm still quite far from becoming a Principles Master. At the very least, I have to completely master the destruction principles and even completely merge the destruction principles with the space-time and reincarnation principles in order to have a chance of breaking through, Jian Wushuang thought to himself. After chatting with Demon Master Chenhua for a while, Shower Axe 1 Master Marquis Duanyu and Star Saint Master walked over. Demon Master Chenhua, congratulations on stepping into the pinnacle of Principles Master. Shower said first. As far as I know, only Elder Darkbone has reached the pinnacle of Principles Master in the Divine Beginning Realm. Now Brother Chenhua has also reached it, Axe 1 Master said. Only after reaching this step can one truly walk unhindered in the Divine Beginning Realm. Even a Saint Realm Master would not be able to kill a Principles Master who has reached the pinnacle, said Marquis Duanyu. Everyone is too polite. Demon Master Chenhua only smiled faintly. Although he was pleasantly surprised by his breakthrough just now, he had calmed down now. After all, although it was important for him to take this step, it was still not enough for him to take revenge. After all, the one who destroyed the Purple Star Demon Sect was the Flame Saint Realm, one of the 3 Saint Realms. Now he still had to rely on Jian Wushuang. Miss Shower, is there any trouble in the Nine-Tailed clan? Jian Wushuang glanced at Shower. Shower smiled faintly. She said, because of my identity, many clansmen of the Nine-Tailed clan have already sided with me in their hearts. Even the stubborn ones have almost died in the battle just now, and most of the remaining ones are willing to submit. Even if there are a few stubborn people hiding in there, it doesn't matter to the overall situation. Besides Daing, doesn't the Nine-Tailed clan have a second expert in the 6th realm of the void? Jian Wushuang asked. Yes, but this person is not on the same side as Daing. When the war broke out, I had planned to ask Lord Su to keep her busy. I didn't expect that she had no intention to fight back. She has been standing there without putting up any resistance. Now she is willing to submit to me. With her help and the absolute strength of my Divine Moon Palace, nothing will happen to the Nine-Tailed clan, Shower said. That's good. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. If you regain control of the Nine-Tailed clan, the power in your hands will reach a whole new level. Don't forget your previous agreement with me. Don't worry. After the Nine-Tailed clan has calmed down, I will help you to deal with the Blood clan, Shower said. However, there is another problem in the Nine-Tailed clan. Daing is, after all, an expert at the peak of the 6th realm of the void. Although she has been defeated, she will not be satisfied. She will definitely find a way to regain control of the Nine-Tailed clan. With such a big hidden danger, I always feel that there is a thorn in my heart. What? Do you want to completely remove this thorn? Jian Wushuang looked at Shower. Of course, but this thorn is too powerful. How can it be so easy to remove? Shower said helplessly. In fact, Miss Shower, if you really want to kill Daing, there is a way. A voice suddenly sounded. It was Marquis Duanyu. Hearing this, Jian Wushuang and Shower looked at Marquis Duanyu in unison. Marquis Duanyu, do you have a way to kill Daing? Shower looked at Marquis Duanyu with a glimmer of light in her eyes. Marquis Duanyu smiled. He said, Daing is indeed very strong. It's very difficult to kill her with normal means. Even with an expert at the pinnacle of the principal's master realm like Demon Master Chenhua, Daing can still escape even if she can't defeat him. Therefore, it has been said in the Divine Beginning realm that only a Saint Realm Master or a Master-level expert can kill an expert at the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void. But in fact it's not the case. Marquis Duanyu, do you really have a way to kill an expert at the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void? Jian Wushuang was also interested. After all, the Blood Clan leader that he wanted to kill had the same cultivation. Previously he had been worried about how to kill him. Now, if Marquis Duanyu had a way to kill Daing, he naturally had a way to kill the Blood Clan leader. Chapter 3480 Netherjade 5 Kill Array. It's not impossible to kill the strongest expert of the 6 states of the void. Marquis Duanyu smiled faintly. To put it bluntly, the reason why it's so difficult to kill the strongest expert of the 6 states of the void is because such an expert doesn't wait for his own strength to be tyrannical, and his life-saving ability is also extremely strong. If we really compare strength, Daing is obviously weaker than Demon Master Chenhua. But if Daing wants to escape, Demon Master Chenhua can't do anything about it. In that case we just have to find a way to prevent Daing from escaping. No way to escape? Jian Wushuang and the others were surprised. That's easy to say, but how can we prevent an expert at the peak of the 6 states of the void from escaping? How can an ordinary array block an expert like Daing? Shower said. Of course not. But what if it's a high-level special array from the universe battlefield? Marquis Duanyu smiled. I may not know about other special arrays in the universe battlefield, but I know of one that can trap an expert at the peak of the 6th realm of the void. What kind of formation? Jian Wushuang and Shower immediately looked over. The Netherjade 5 Kill formation. Marquis Duanyu said, this formation is a high-level killing move and is used to kill enemies. However, its trapping ability is also very good. After all, if you want to kill someone you must first keep him alive. And this formation requires 5 cultivators of the same realm to control it at the same time. The power of the formation is also determined by these 5 people. If you want to use this formation to trap and kill experts at the peak of the 6th realm of the void, then you must let 5 experts at the 6th realm of the void control it. 5 experts who have reached the 6th level of the void? Shower's expression changed. I have a beard master under my command, and the 6th level of the void that the Nine-Tailed clan has now also submitted to me. There are 2 6th level of the void here, and if we include Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master, there are exactly 5 of them and their realms are all the same. Miss Shower, the 3 of us have come to help you under the orders of the Palace Master. However, the Palace Master only said that he would help you regain control of the Nine-Tailed clan. He did not say that the 3 of us would help you kill Daing. Marquis Duanyu smiled and said, as for me telling you about this Netherjade 5 killing array now, I am only telling you a method to kill Daing. He did not say that the 3 of us would personally help you. Yes, the 3 of us have helped you regain control of the Nine-Tailed clan and completed our mission. As for the rest of the matter, we don't intend to interfere, Axe 1 Master said with a smile. But the method I mentioned is indeed feasible, Marquis Duanyu continued, as long as the 5 experts of the 6 void realms work together to cast the Netherjade 5 kill magic formation. We can guarantee that Daing will not be able to escape from the magic formation. Then, as long as Demon Master Chenhua acts personally, together with the magic formation, we can definitely kill Daing in the magic formation. Jian Wushuang nodded secretly. Indeed, as long as Daing was trapped in the magic formation and could not escape, Demon Master Chenhua would definitely crush her with her strength. It was not impossible to kill her. At most, it would take some strength and effort. Marquis Duanyu, your method is feasible, but if the 3 of you don't take action, where can I find the other 3 experts of the 6 void realms to set up the Netherjade 5 kill magic formation? Shower rolled her eyes at Marquis Duanyu. How about I ask your Palace Master again? Miss Shower, before we left, Palace Master had already gone into closed-door cultivation. Even if you send a message to him now, I'm afraid you won't get any reply from him. Marquis Duanyu smiled. But if Miss Shower really wants the three of us to help, it's actually not impossible. But it depends on your opinion. Me? Jian Wushuang was puzzled. My lord, I've said before that the Palace Master has instructed us to help you with anything after we understand the Nine-Tailed Clan. In fact, if you need our help, we are just following your orders. My lord, if you need our help, we won't refuse. Of course, that includes killing De Ying for Miss Shower. Is that so? Jian Wushuang's eyes lit up. That is to say, as long as Jian Wushuang agrees, you three will help me. Shower was also surprised. Of course, from now on, the three of us will listen to you until Palace Master gives us another order, Marquis Duanyu said. That's great. Marquis Duanyu, Axe 1 Master and Star Saint Master. I'm in an alliance with Miss Shower. We're on the same side. De Ying is a great threat to Miss Shower's Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan. If we can get rid of this threat, we'll get rid of it as soon as possible, Jian Wushuang said. We understand what you mean. In that case, he'll teach Lord Su and the other principals master of the 6 void realms of the Nine-Tailed Clan about the 5-killing formation. From today on, the 5 of us will practice the formation together and try to control it as soon as possible, Marquis Duanyu said. Thank you, Marquis Duanyu, Jian Wushuang said. But the problem now is that even if we have completely mastered the 5-killing formation, we still don't know the exact location of De Ying. I'm afraid it won't be easy to find her and kill her, Marquis Duanyu said. That's a problem, but it doesn't matter, Shower said. As long as we master the formation and have the ability to kill De Ying, the rest will be easy. After all, this De Ying has been chased out of the Nine-Tailed Clan by us. She will definitely be unwilling, and there will definitely be waves in the future. Moreover, she will be quite confident in her own strength. She won't think that we have the ability to kill her, so she won't be too low-key in her actions. With our Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan's intelligence abilities, as long as she dares to show her face, we will be able to immediately find her existence. Therefore, the most urgent matter now is to master the Netherjade 5-kill array formation as quickly as possible. In that case, he'll ask Miss Shower to make a space in the Nine-Tailed Clan so that we can focus on practicing the Netherjade 5-kill array, Marquis Duanyu said. No problem. He'll make the arrangements now. Shower nodded. The Nine-Tailed Clan had completely calmed down. After Shower took control of the Nine-Tailed Clan, she immediately arranged a place for Marquis Duanyu and the others to practice the Netherjade 5-kill array. Chapter 3481 Tricky. After Shower regained control of the Nine-Tailed Clan, Jian Wushuang stayed in the clan. During this period, Marquis Duanyu, Axe 1 Master, Star Saint Master, Master Su and Master Shadow Fox, the master of the rules of the 6 void realms, had been practicing the 5-killing formation of the Netherjade, since the formation was prepared to deal with De Ying, and it was difficult to guarantee that there were still loyal De Ying members in the Nine-Tailed Clan. The place where they practiced the formation was completely isolated, except for a few people. No one could enter. Naturally, no one knew what they were doing inside. During this time, Jian Wushuang was very relaxed. Occasionally he would drink tea and chat with Demon Master Chenhua. It's been half a year. If I'm not mistaken, Marquis Duanyu and the others should have practiced their magic formation by now, Jian Wushuang said. I've personally seen the magic formation they practiced. The power of the magic formation is indeed amazing. After the 5 of them joined hands to cast the magic formation, even if I was trapped inside, it would be difficult for me to break it. However, at that time they were not very familiar with the magic formation. Now they should be able to break it, Demon Master Chenhua said. The level of the Netherjade 5-kill formation was extremely high. Originally, it would be extremely difficult for even a 6th-level void martial artist to master it, and the time required would be very long. But fortunately, there was Marquis Duanyu, who had extremely high attainments in the formation, and he was also one of the 5 people who controlled the formation. Thus, although this formation was used by 5 people at the same time, the main person who controlled it was Marquis Duanyu. Therefore, in about half a year, they should be able to master the magic formation. Once the magic formation is completed, Shower will find an opportunity to kill De Ying, but Jian Wushuang's expression changed. Chenhua, if De Ying is really trapped in the Netherjade 5-kill magic formation and you kill her yourself, are you sure you can kill her? Although Jian Wushuang was very confident in the strength of Demon Master Chenhua, De Ying was, after all, an expert at the peak of the 6th realm of the void. I can't say for sure. Demon Master Chenhua shook his head. However, after I take this step, my strength is much stronger than before. It's definitely not difficult for me to crush Deng. As for killing her, it's very likely that she can't escape. How confident are you? Jian Wushuang looked at Demon Master Chenhua. 50%. After all, this Deng will definitely go crazy and do whatever it takes. She has been the clan leader of the Nine-Tailed clan for so many years, so she must have many trump cards. The soul-devouring pearl she used on the battlefield may only be one of them. If I really push her to the limit, I don't know whether I can kill her or not. Or I can't guarantee that I will be able to withstand her desperate use of her trump card, said Demon Master Chenhua. Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes slightly. Indeed, to kill an expert at the peak of the 6 void realms, not only did she have to be unable to escape, but she also had to be careful of her counterattack. Anyone would be desperate before they died, let alone this Deng. And a Deng at the peak of the 6 void realms, who was also the clan leader of the Nine-Tailed clan, would be quite terrifying if she was desperate. Under such circumstances, it was not easy to continue to kill her. Even if she was killed in the end, there was no guarantee that they would not pay a price. At this moment, Shower flew over from the distance and appeared directly in front of Jian Wushuang and Demon Master Chenhua. Jian Wushuang, Demon Master Chenhua, Shower said with a solemn expression. Miss Shower, judging from your solemn expression, have you found the whereabouts of Deng? Jian Wushuang asked. During the past 6 months, Shower had ordered the intelligence agencies of Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed clan to do their best to find the existence of Deng. As Shower had expected, Deng did not keep a low profile. She was often found. However, since 3 months ago, Deng seemed to have suddenly disappeared. The intelligence agencies of Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed clan could not find her again. Yes, I found her, but it's because of this that I'm in a tricky situation, Shower said. Tricky? Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows. Deng has already been driven out of the Nine-Tailed clan. Is she going to cause any trouble? If it was just her alone, it wouldn't be a big deal. We could have set off to kill her at any time after Marquis Duanyu had completely mastered the 5-killing formation of the Dark Jade. However, we didn't expect her to go to the Blood Clan during the 3 months when she disappeared, said Shower in a low voice. Blood Clan? Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes and stood up immediately. Why did she go to the Blood Clan? If I'm not mistaken, she wants to join hands with the Blood Clan to fight against the Nine-Tailed clan, Shower said. So, the Blood Clan agreed? Jian Wushuang frowned. In her opinion, the Blood Clan and the Nine-Tailed clan were one of the 4 great divine clans. They should not really fight against the Nine-Tailed clan for the sake of a Deng. After all, the Nine-Tailed clan and Divine Moon Palace had now joined hands. Their overall strength had long surpassed that of before. Now, in the Demon Realm, all the clans believed that the Nine-Tailed clan was the strongest among the 4 great divine clans. At this juncture, the Blood Clan should not be so blind as to provoke the Nine-Tailed clan. Jian Wushuang, you don't know that the 4 great divine clans in the Demon Realm are not as calm as they appear on the surface, especially the Nine-Tailed clan and the Blood Clan, Shower said in a deep voice. The Blood Clan and the Nine-Tailed clan have been fighting for a long time because of the proximity of their territories. Sometimes the Nine-Tailed clan is superior to the Blood Clan, and sometimes the Blood Clan is superior to the Nine-Tailed clan. In short, the 2 divine races have been fighting for an unknown number of years and have accumulated a huge amount of hatred toward each other. No matter who we are, as long as there is an opportunity, we will definitely attack each other without hesitation. And this time, because of me, the Nine-Tailed clan and the Divine Moon Palace have joined hands, and their strength has increased to an unprecedented level. This naturally made the Blood Clan wary and even fearful. As for Deng, she also knows that it is already very difficult for her to regain control of the Nine-Tailed clan by herself, so she naturally has to find helpers. The first person she thought of should be the Dark Clan. However, although the Dark Clan is on good terms with the Nine-Tailed clan and owes the Nine-Tailed clan a favor, this favor is owed to the Nine-Tailed clan, not her, Deng. Therefore, when the Dark Clan knows that the war between the Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed clan is merely an internal conflict between the Nine-Tailed clan, the Dark Clan will not pay any attention to it. At this time, even if Deng finds the Dark Clan, she won't get any help from the Dark Clan, so she can only go to the Blood Clan. Chapter 3482 Severe Soul Injury? The Blood Clan has always been wary of the current Nine-Tailed clan. Now that Deng has taken the initiative to seek refuge with us, we naturally agree. Shower's expression was solemn. If that's the case, then it's really troublesome. Jian Wushuang also nodded slightly. Moreover, your goal is to kill Deng and my goal is to kill the clan leader of the Blood Clan. If we deal with these two people one by one, as long as Marquis Duanyes formation is complete, it's absolutely possible to kill them. However, now that the two of them have joined hands, it's too difficult to deal with them both at the same time. Jian Wushuang was well aware that if De Ying and the Blood Clan had not joined hands, they could have killed them one by one with Marquis Duanyes' 5-killing formation. However, if the two of them had gathered together, it would not be enough for them to kill the two of them at the same time. After all, Demon Master Chenhua was powerful, but he was not confident that he could kill De Ying alone, not to mention that there was a Blood Clan Grandmaster who was no weaker than De Ying. We have no choice but to wait. After all, the Blood Clan and the Nine-Tailed Clan have been fighting for so many years. Previously, De Ying was the Blood Clan Grandmaster. Under such circumstances, De Ying and the Blood Clan might not be able to forget about the past. It may not be long before their alliance is broken. At that time we can still proceed according to the plan. In addition, even if they really forget about the past, De Ying and the Blood Clan Grandmaster cannot stay together forever. We can wait. As long as they separate, we can attack immediately and still have a chance to kill them, Jian Wushuang said. Yes, that's what I thought. I've instructed the chess pieces in the Blood Clan to pay close attention to the movements of De Ying and the Blood Clan leader. As soon as they have a chance to separate, we will attack immediately, Shower said. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly, but his heart was still heavy. After all, if De Ying really joined hands with the Blood Clan leader, it would be much more difficult and unpredictable to kill them than before. They could only wait for an opportunity. Time passed, and another half a month passed in the blink of an eye. During this half a month, the 5 principals masters on Marquis Duanyes' side had already grasped the Dark Jade 5-kill array. Once it was used, even the Demon Master Chenhua wouldn't be able to escape for a while, and to trap De Ying, who was much weaker than the Demon Master Chenhua, or the Blood Clan leader, there was naturally no problem. At the same time, Shower had also received the news from the Blood Clan. The news has been confirmed. De Ying has indeed joined hands with the Blood Clan. In order to show her sincerity, she gave the soul-devouring pearl, the most precious treasure of the Nine-Tailed Clan, to the Blood Clan. The Blood Clan has accepted her completely, Shower said in a deep voice. Upon hearing this, Jian Wushuang, Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and the others all had ugly expressions on their faces. Soul-devouring pearl. This is a treasure that almost caused Chenhua to lose his life. How could De Ying give it up? Jian Wushuang frowned. It's just a treasure, not to mention that the Nine-Tailed Clan left it behind. Now that De Ying is no longer the clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan, of course she doesn't care about this precious treasure. But the problem is that she has gained the trust of the Blood Clan with this treasure. Next, she will join hands with the Blood Clan completely, Shower said coldly. In addition, the people I left behind also said that De Ying immediately went into seclusion after gaining the trust of the Blood Clan. They also told the Blood Clan that she would be in seclusion for a long time, as if to heal her injuries. Heal? Jian Wushuang's expression changed, and he immediately looked at Demon Master Chenhua. Chenhua, did you hurt De Ying badly? I think so, Demon Master Chenhua said calmly. After I made a breakthrough, De Ying suffered a lot of damage to her divine body. However, because of her immortal body, she only lost part of her divine power. Perhaps it will take some time for her to recover after reaching her level, but it's not necessary for her to go into seclusion to recover her divine power. In that case, why is she in seclusion? Jian Wushuang was puzzled. I understand. Shower suddenly stood up. She said, if I'm not wrong, De Ying is indeed injured. However, it's not the damage to her divine body or the consumption of divine power, but the damage to her soul. The damage is so great that she must immediately enter seclusion to recover. Soul damage? Jian Wushuang's expression changed. You mean, when she channeled the soul power of the soul-devouring pearl, she also suffered the damage from the soul power? That must be the case. Shower nodded. He said seriously, I didn't know much about the soul-devouring pearl. I've only heard a little about its use, but it's one of the biggest killer moves of the Nine-Tailed Clan. The previous clan leaders of the Nine-Tailed Clan have told me clearly that unless we are on the brink of death, we must not use the soul-devouring pearl. However, if it's only because the soul-devouring pearl consumes a large amount of soul power, then because the soul power that the soul-devouring pearl has consumed over a long period of time is ridiculously large, there's no need for such restrictions. Therefore, there's only one possibility, and that is that while the soul power in the soul-devouring pearl is activated, the guide will also suffer the backlash from the soul power. The more soul power she channeled, the greater the backlash. It's understandable why De Ying didn't channel all the soul power in the soul-devouring pearl during the battle. I'm afraid it's not because she didn't want to channel it but because she knew that the more she channeled, the greater the damage to her soul. That's why she didn't dare to be so reckless. Now that she has been defeated and retreated to the Blood Clan, she naturally has to think of a way to recover her soul. Furthermore, after using the soul-devouring pearl once, she clearly knew how terrifying the backlash power contained in the soul-devouring pearl was. She didn't dare to use it a second time, so she handed the soul-devouring pearl to the Blood Clan without any hesitation. All of this can be explained. Hearing Shower's words, the experts present immediately understood. Looks like that's the case. Star Saint Master also stood up. He said, although I don't know about the soul-devouring pearl, I more or less know about the soul. In order to guide such a huge wave of soul energy that doesn't belong to me to cause an impact on my opponent, I naturally have to bear a huge risk. If that's the case, then De Ying should be in a weakened state. This is the best time for us to kill her. Axe 1 Master also said. Chapter 3483 Requesting for more help. That's true, but that De Ying is currently in the territory of the Blood Clan. Even if she is currently in a weakened state, if we want to kill her, we still have to pass through the Blood Clan. As for the Blood Clan in terms of overall strength, they are slightly stronger than the previous Nine-Tailed Clan. Of course, the overall strength of our Nine-Tailed Clan currently surpasses that of the Blood Clan. Shower said. Are we going to kill De Ying directly? Axe 1 Master narrowed his eyes. The Blood Clan also has a clan-protecting formation, but it's not as powerful as the Nine-Tailed Clans. It's not difficult to break it, Marquis Duanyu said with a smile. If we really want to fight, we have to kill more than just De Ying. If possible, we have to kill the clan leader as well, Jian Wushuang said. Kill the clan leader? Marquis Duanyu raised his eyebrows. It's already difficult enough to kill De Ying just by charging into the territory of the Blood Clan. But if we want to kill the clan leader, I'm afraid our current lineup is not enough. That's true. Jian Wushuang nodded. He understood that it would require extraordinary combat strength to charge into the Blood Clan and kill both De Ying and the clan leader at the same time. And on their side, even though they had Demon Master Chenhua and a total of 5 Void 6th level Principles Masters, the only one who could truly threaten De Ying and the Blood Clan leader was actually Demon Master Chenhua alone. If our camp can have another expert like Demon Master Chenhua, then it is possible to charge into the Blood Clan and kill De Ying and the Blood Clan leader. Axe 1 Master suddenly said. That's easy to say. However, in the Divine Beginning Realm, among the Principles Masters, the only one who could match the current Demon Master Chenhua is probably Elder Dark Bone. Elder Dark Bone has a strange personality. Even if the 3 Great Saint Realm Masters or the Ruler Realm experts personally invite him, he might not give us face, let alone us, Shower said. Of course, an ordinary person wouldn't be able to invite him. But, didn't the Heavenly Sword Marquis have dealings with Elder Dark Bone? Back on the Saha Island, the 3 Saint Realms set up an inescapable net to kill you. At that time, Elder Dark Bone stood on your side and helped you fight against a master of the Saint Realm, Axe 1 Master said with a smile. In that battle, Elder Dark Bone did help me a lot. But he helped me because his disciple owed me a favor. He was just returning the favor for his disciple, Jian Wushuang said. Really? Axe 1 Master smiled. He said, my young friend, I'm afraid you've underestimated this Elder Dark Bone. He lived for a very long time not only because of his own strength, but also because he ignored the fights between the forces in the Divine Beginning Realm. No one would look for trouble with him. Even though he finally got a disciple and loves this treasure, do you think he would offend the 3 Saint Realms and even fight the Master of the Saint Realm for this treasure? Jian Wushuang frowned. He had thought about this question before, but since Elder Dark Bone had left after the battle, he did not have the time to ask. Therefore, he could only take it as Elder Dark Bone returning the favor to his disciple. However, if he thought about it carefully, there were indeed many things that were not right. Axe 1 Master, are you saying that Elder Dark Bone helped me for other reasons? Jian Wushuang asked. Of course. As for this reason, you will know it in the future. Now you can go directly to him and ask him to help you. He will most likely not refuse you. If he really refuses, you can say that you came to him on the orders of Star Palace Master. He will definitely not refuse you, Axe 1 Master said confidently. Okay, I'll go look for Elder Dark Bone now. Jian Wushuang nodded. Immediately, Jian Wushuang took out a message token. This message token did not belong to Elder Dark Bone, but to his disciple, Underworld Emperor. Underworld Emperor. Jian Wushuang directly sent a message to Underworld Emperor. A moment later, Underworld Emperor replied, Brother Heavenly Marquis, how come you have time to look for me? Are you still trapped in the trial your master gave you? Jian Wushuang asked first. In the Blood Wave realm, Jian Wushuang and Emperor Ming fought side by side, and they were good friends. Even after they separated, they would occasionally communicate with each other. Jian Wushuang also knew that not long after Emperor Ming became a principal's masters, his master, Elder Dark Bone, sent him to a special place, saying that it was to give him a trial. Until now, Emperor Ming was still trapped in that experience. I can't help it. The test my master arranged for me is very difficult. I can't get out of here in a short time. Emperor Ming smiled. Let's not talk about this. Brother Heavenly Marquis, you must have something else to talk to me about today, right? Yes, I have something urgent. I want to talk to Elder Dark Bone, but I don't have Elder Dark Bone's communication token, so I can only talk to you, Jian Wushuang said. That's easy. Although my master left me here, he has been staying here by himself. I'll send a message to him from my body. Please wait for a moment, Underworld Emperor said, and then sent a message to Elder Dark Bone. A moment later he got the result. Brother Heavenly Marquis, my master has come. He will take my message token and communicate with you, Underworld Emperor said. Not long after that, a slightly hoarse voice came from the other side of the token. Heavenly Sword Marquis, I heard that you have something to ask me? Yes. Jian Wushuang took a deep breath and then said seriously, Senior, I want to ask you to help me with something. Help? Elder Dark Bone paused, then he said faintly, Heavenly Sword Marquis, you should know that I don't have any entanglement with you. The reason I helped you outside the Blood Wave realm was because my disciple owed you a favor. Since the end of the battle, my disciple has already repaid the favor. Now, neither I nor my disciple owes you anything. Why should I help you? Senior, I know I can't force you to do anything, but I really need a strong helper like you, so I have no choice but to ask you. If you help me, I will definitely remember your favor. Jian Wushuang said seriously. Your favor? Well, it's worth considering. Elder Dark Bone smiled faintly, but he did not directly agree. Senior, I came to invite you on the orders of Palace Master Star Palace, Jian Wushuang said again. Palace Master Star Palace? Elder Dark Bone's voice obviously changed, but then he smiled and said, I didn't expect Star Palace to make contact with you so soon. It's really unexpected. Chapter 3484 Elder Dark Bone arrived. What Elder Dark Bone said made Jian Wushuang's heart skip a beat. Obviously, Elder Dark Bone knew about Star Palace, and he knew that Star Palace would definitely contact him. Well, since Star Palace has already contacted you and it's under the instructions of Star Palace Master, he'll help you again. Tell me, what do you need me to do? Elder Dark Bone said with a faint smile. Senior, I want to kill Deciphered and the Grandmaster of the Blood Clan. However, they are, after all, two experts at the peak of the 6th realm of the Void. Although I can set up the 5-kill formation of the Netherjade to prevent them from escaping, I only have Chenhua, an existence at the peak of the 6th realm of the Void. He alone is not sure that he can kill them, so I need your help, Jian Wushuang said. Deciphered is the former clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan. Together with the clan leader of the Blood Clan, both of them are extremely powerful. If they work together, even if they are trapped by the magic formation, it would be difficult for an expert of the ultimate 6 realms to kill them. However, if we can gather 2 experts of the ultimate 6 realms of the Void, we have a much greater chance of killing them. Elder Dark Bone said with a strange smile. That's right. We've also received news that Deciphered's soul has been severely injured. He should be in a weakened state now. If you attack him, together with our Demon Master Chenhua in 5-kill formation, there's a high chance of killing them, Jian Wushuang said. Heavenly Sword Marquis, you should be in the Nine-Tailed Clan now, right? Elder Dark Bone said with a strange smile. It seemed that although he did not care about worldly affairs, he had been paying attention to some major changes in the Divine Beginning realm. News of the Nine-Tailed Clan's change had already spread in the Divine Beginning realm, so Elder Dark Bone had obviously received the news. It's in the Nine-Tailed Clan. When will Senior come? Jian Wushuang asked. Since you said that Deciphered is currently in a weak state, I can't give her a chance to catch her breath. I'll leave now. You can wait for a few days in the Nine-Tailed Clan, Elder Dark Bone said. Thank you, Senior. Jian Wushuang was pleasantly surprised. Then Jian Wushuang cut off the communication with Elder Dark Bone. Seeing Jian Wushuang put away the communication token, Shower Axe 1 Master, and the others immediately looked over. My young friend, how did it go? Axe 1 Master asked with a smile. From his smile, it could be seen that he had the answer in his heart. Elder Dark Bone has agreed and he will be coming soon, Jian Wushuang said. That's great. Shower's eyes lit up. With Elder Dark Bone, the strongest expert in the 6 realms of the Void, and Demon Master Chenhua, as long as our 5-kill formation can prevent Daeng and the Blood Clan leader from escaping, they will almost certainly die. Marquis Duanyu said seriously. When everyone knew that Elder Darkbone would arrive, they calmed down. However, no one noticed that Demon Master Chenhua had narrowed his eyes. Elder Darkbone? An ultimate expert of the 6 states of the void? I really want to meet him. Demon Master Chenhua muttered to himself. In just 10 days, Elder Darkbone had arrived at the Nine-Tailed Clan. Besides his disciple, Underworld Emperor, there was also a handsome and dignified middle-aged man in a golden robe. Brother Heavenly Sword Marquis. Underworld Emperor was the first to speak and shouted enthusiastically. Underworld Emperor. Jian Wushuang greeted his good friend and then went to Elder Darkbone and bowed respectfully. Elder Darkbone. Elder Darkbone had helped him at a critical time, and he had come to help him this time. Jian Wushuang naturally respected such a person who was also a super expert. Mr. Elder Darkbone. Axe 1 Master Marquis Duanyu and Star Saint Master also said to show their respect. Elder Darkbone nodded slightly, but then he looked directly at Shower and said, Deji, long time no see. How have you been? I've experienced 9 reincarnations. After so many years, I thought you should have left the Divine Beginning realm a long time ago. I didn't expect you to stay here, Shower said with a strange tone. Elder Darkbone, do you know Miss Shower? Jian Wushuang asked in surprise. Of course. Elder Darkbone smiled. Deji and I have known each other for many years, but it's because of that person. Him? You mean, Dishir-san? Jian Wushuang asked. Yes. Elder Darkbone nodded. I've been in the Divine Beginning realm for a long time. During this time I've met countless experts, but I think I can slightly suppress them as long as they haven't reached the Saint Realm Master or the Master level. However, Dishir-san, who was at his peak, was the only exception. Dishir-san is indeed a talented man. His understanding of sword principle has gone beyond the realm of the Divine Beginning realm and reached a whole new level. A whole new level? Jian Wushuang was stunned. Yes, in the Divine Beginning realm, one's understanding of sword principle is limited to 3 levels. At the 3rd level one can derive all things. This level is actually the limit and end point for many sword principle cultivators in the Divine Beginning realm. However, Dishir-san's understanding of sword principle has gone beyond the 3rd level and reached a higher level, the 4th level. It's a whole new realm. Not to mention ordinary principles masters, even many master-level experts can't reach it. That's why his swordsmanship is so terrifying. No one can block his killing sword. Dishir-san, who had reached the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void, used a shocking technique during the world-ending war. He chopped off the arm of a master-level expert with one sword. That sword move was earth-shaking. At this point Elder Darkbone could not help exclaiming in surprise. However, Jian Wushuang's heart was shocked. In his previous life he had interacted with Dishir-san many times. Moreover, when Lung Ruxia's master's consciousness incarnation had descended into the eternal chaotic world, Dishir-san had said that he had cut off one of his arms. Now, it seemed that the person whom Elder Darkbone said was cut off by Dishir-san should be Lung Ruxia's master. Jian Wushuang had thought that Lung Ruxia's master was also a master of the Saint Realm, but now it seemed that was not the case. Lung Ruxia's master was a genuine master-level expert. Under such circumstances, Dishir-san was able to cut off one of the master's arms. It was evident how powerful Dishir-san was at that time. No wonder Elder Darkbone praised him so much. Chapter 3485 Life Fall King. Because Dishir-san was so powerful that even I was amazed, I went to see him more than once to spar with him. Dishir-san did not refuse to fight with him. After a few times we have more or less established a friendship. When I came into contact with Dishir-san, I naturally came into contact with Deji, Elder Darkbone said with a smile. I see. Jian Wushuang understood. It turned out that Elder Darkbone was not acquainted with Shower, but with Dishir-san. By the way, Elder Darkbone, who is this? Jian Wushuang looked at the middle-aged man in a golden robe next to Elder Darkbone. He is my good friend in the universe battlefield, Life Fall King. He just happened to visit me this time, so I brought him along. Elder Darkbone laughed. After all, it's difficult to kill 2 experts at the peak of the 6 void realms. If Life Fall King was there to help, nothing would happen. Oh. Jian Wushuang could not help looking at Life Fall King again. In his perception, Life Fall King was in an ethereal state like Demon Master Chenhua. He could not sense the existence of the other party's specific aura and strength, or even his ability to conceal his aura. It seemed that Life Fall King was even more powerful than Demon Master Chenhua. Heavenly Sword Marquis, there's something I have to tell you first. It's my good friend Lifefall King. He's actually a Chaos Master. Elder Dark Bone suddenly said. What? Jian Wushuang was shocked. Not only him but Shower, Demon Master Chenhua, Axe 1 Master Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master were also shocked. Master, a master-level expert? Jian Wushuang looked at Lifefall King in astonishment. But Lifefall King smiled faintly and said, Don't listen to Elder Dark Bone. I'm only at the 6th realm of the void. What do you mean? Jian Wushuang was puzzled. My good friend is indeed a Chaos Master, but he's not a native ruler born in the Divine Beginning realm. He's from outside the Divine Beginning realm and from the universe battlefield. Elder Dark Bone said. A ruler from outside the Divine Beginning realm? Jian Wushuang was shocked. Rulers from outside the Divine Beginning realm will be restrained by the heavenly will of the Divine Beginning realm after they arrive in the Divine Beginning realm. This pressure is greater than the pressure exerted by the power of the heavenly will on rulers born in the Divine Beginning realm. For example, the rulers who rose up in the Divine Beginning realm, such as Temporal Temple Master, Heaven Cleaving Alliance Master, and others, are still suppressed by the heavenly will in the Divine Beginning realm, but their combat strength is still stronger than that of ordinary masters of the Saint realm. But the overlords from the outside world will be suppressed by the will of the heavenly Tao, so he can only exert the battle strength of the 6th realm of the void. Of course, even if he only has the battle strength of the 6th realm of the void, I'm not confident that I can defeat him, Elder Dark Bone said. Is that so? Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows, but then his expression changed again. No, if that's true, then during the world-ending battle, countless experts fought their way into the 7-star mysterious sect. At that time, there were also masters from outside the world who intervened. If these masters from outside the world were suppressed by the will of the heavenly Tao, then how could the 7-star mysterious sect be defeated? This is actually very easy to understand. Elder Dark Bone smiled. Heavenly Sword Marquis, you should know how those masters from outside the world came about during the world-ending battle. They are... Jian Wushuang's heart skipped a beat, but he already somewhat understood. Those overlords came to the divine realm because of the will of the heavenly Tao. It can even be said that the power of the will of the heavenly Tao invited them. Since the will of the heavenly Tao invited them, how could the will of the heavenly Tao give them too much pressure? Therefore, although the overlords from the Divine Beginning realm were still suppressed, they were still able to display battle strength that was no weaker than that of Temporal Temple Master, Heaven Cleaving Alliance Master, and the others in the Divine Beginning realm. That was why the 7-star mysterious sect was defeated, Elder Dark Bone said. Upon hearing this, Jian Wushuang could not help but come to a realization. I did not enter the Divine Beginning realm by the will of the heavenly Tao. Instead, I entered by myself. Naturally, I'm under a lot of restrictions, so don't count on me, Lifefall King said with a smile. Although he was a genuine chaos ruler, Lifefall King did not put on too much airs in front of Jian Wushuang and the others. Instead, he was very gentle and willing to talk to them. Lifefall, don't be humble. Even though you're bound by a lot of restrictions, you can still help a lot by killing experts at the peak of the 6 void realms. I'm afraid that neither De Ing nor the Blood Clan leader will be able to block your death magic, Elder Dark Bone said with a strange smile. Hearing Elder Dark Bone's words, Jian Wushuang and Shower felt relieved. They had thought that if Elder Dark Bone came, they would have more than half of the success. They did not expect that he would bring a ruler-level expert, Lifefall King, along with him. Although Lifefall King was restricted by the power of the will of heaven and could only exert the battle strength of the 6 void realms, the strength of a ruler was naturally incomparable to that of an ordinary principles master. With the addition of Lifefall King, their plan this time could almost be said to be without any surprises. By the way, Heavenly Sword Marquis, when you sent me a message earlier, you said that you have an expert who has reached the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void. You must be talking about him, right? Elder Dark Bone looked at him with a strange gaze. He had already looked at Demon Master Chenhua. Yes, let me introduce him. This is Demon Master Chenhua. He has just broken through to the pinnacle of the 6 realms, Jian Wushuang said. The Divine Beginning realm is the oldest and most recognized principles master, Elder Dark Bone. I've heard a lot about you. Demon Master Chenhua stared at Elder Dark Bone with a strange look in his eyes. In the Divine Beginning realm, there was only one expert who reached the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void. Now there are 3 more. Congratulations. Elder Dark Bone laughed. There's another one? Jian Wushuang was stunned. Aren't you the only expert in the Divine Beginning realm who has reached the pinnacle of the 6 void realms? Shower also looked at Elder Dark Bone. No, there is indeed another expert besides me, You haven't met him yet, but you will definitely meet him in the future, Elder Darkbone said. I don't care if you meet him in the future, but I know that I have met one now, said the Demon Master Chenhua suddenly, a bright light flashing in his eyes. Chapter 3486 Sparring, Chenhua. Jian Wushuang could not help looking at Demon Master Chenhua. I've been lonely for too long. It's rare for me to meet a decent opponent. How could I miss it? Demon Master Chenhua said. Jian Wushuang nodded secretly. He could understand. Before the Purple Star Demon sect was destroyed, Demon Master Chenhua was a genius. He was also very belligerent and liked to challenge experts everywhere. After the destruction of the Purple Star Demon sect, he stayed in the secret realm of heaven and earth for nearly 200 million years alone. Just as he said, he had been lonely for too long, and he had not had a good battle with anyone for a long time. Even after he came out of the secret realm of heaven and earth, he still did not meet any opponents because he was too strong. The only one he met was probably Daing from before. However, after he made a breakthrough in that battle and reached a new level, an expert at Daying's level was no longer qualified to be his opponent. Now, only experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms were qualified to be his opponent. There were only 3 such experts in the entire Divine Beginning realm, including him. It was too difficult to meet them. Now that Elder Darkbone was standing in front of him, he naturally did not want to miss this opportunity. Knowing this, Jian Wushuang did not stop him. Elder Darkbone, do you want to fight with me? Demon Master Chenhua asked directly. Elder Darkbone also looked at Demon Master Chenhua with a strange look, but then he smiled slightly. Experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms are indeed very difficult to meet in the Divine Beginning realm unless they are in the universe battlefield. Now that we can meet one, it doesn't matter if we fight. Hearing this, the surrounding people could not help but become excited. Elder Darkbone had obviously accepted the challenge. The fight between 2 experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms was certainly exciting. After all, we're in the Nine-Tailed clan. I'm afraid we won't be able to fight freely. Let's find another place, Elder Darkbone said. Okay. Demon Master Chenhua nodded, and then the 2 directly rushed out of the ancestral land of the Nine-Tailed clan. Let's go and take a look. Jian Wushuang, Life Fall King, Shower, Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, Star Saint Master and Shadow Fox Master did not want to miss the battle and followed them. They came to an empty space not far from the ancestral land of the Nine-Tailed clan. Then they made way for a huge battlefield, with Demon Master Chenhua and Elder Darkbone standing in the center of the battlefield. A golden fist glove appeared in the hands of Demon Master Chenhua. This fist glove was given to me by Master when Purple Star Devil sect was still around. Later I found someone to refine and strengthen it. Finally it was upgraded to a top-tier true treasure. Its name is Golden God. Demon Master Chenhua said indifferently. Top-tier true treasure? Elder Darkbone smiled. A top-tier true treasure from the Divine Beginning realm. It's powerful, but it's nothing compared to a universe true treasure. However, today's battle is just a sparring match. To be fair, I want to use a universe true treasure. I got this blade many years ago, but I've never used it since. I'll use it to fight you today. As Elder Darkbone spoke, a pitch-black blade appeared in his hand. This blade looked ordinary, but anyone could feel a shocking coldness from it. Without a doubt, this blade was also a top-tier true treasure, but it was clearly not Elder Darkbone's strongest godly weapon. There was nothing he could do about it. Elder Darkbone had lived for too long, and he often went to the universe battlefield to explore. He even had a lot of universe true treasures, many of which were more powerful than the top-tier true treasures in the absolute beginning godly world. As for Demon Master Chenhua, he had never been to the universe battlefield, and he had stayed in the universe secret region for a long time, so he had no chance to collect more powerful true treasures. The glove in his hand was indeed his most powerful godly weapon. Sinking fire, make your move, Elder Darkbone said with a faint smile. Even though he was facing Demon Master Chenhua, who was at the same level as him and was at the pinnacle of the 6 levels of the void space, Elder Darkbone still looked very relaxed. It was as if Demon Master Chenhua was not really in his heart. And Demon Master Chenhua had also noticed this. Although he was not angry, he had already used his actions to express his dissatisfaction. Boom. A sudden explosion of air could be heard. The void where Demon Master Chenhua was originally had instantly turned into nothingness. His figure had already disappeared in that void, and when he reappeared, he had already arrived in front of Elder Darkbone. At the same time, his right hand had already turned into a huge star, directly striking toward Elder Darkbone. When Elder Darkbone saw this, he unhurriedly slashed out with his blade. This blade was soft, as if it did not possess any power. However, as the blade light passed by, an empty tunnel appeared. In the blink of an eye, the fist of the demon master clashed with the blade light. The void exploded on the spot, and a black hole with a diameter of nearly 1,000 meters appeared in this vast world. Black hole. What a huge black hole. This area is simply unbelievable. The strongest expert of the 6 void realms is indeed extraordinary. The surrounding 6 void realm principles masters who were watching the battle could not help but exclaim in admiration. Even though they were all at the 6 void realms, the gap between the ordinary 6 void realms and the pinnacle of the 6 void realms was too great. One had to know what was the pinnacle of the 6 void realms. That was after one had completely grasped and fused the 3 principles, comprehended the 4th principle, and grasped the 7th portion of the power of the will. But the ordinary 6 states of the void, including the experts at the peak of the 6 states of the void, only grasped 6 wills power. Compared to the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void, there was 1 less wills power, and the difference of 1 will's power, how huge was it? To put it bluntly, the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void actually did not belong to the scope of the 6 states of the void. Speaking of which, they could already be considered to have reached the 7 states of the void. They had an extra portion of will power compared to the 6 void realms. In terms of pure divine power, they were far above the 6 void realms. Just like now, when the Demon Master and Elder Darkbone were fighting, the 2 of them were clearly just casually attacking and did not use any ultimate moves or secret techniques. However, the power that burst out in that instant caused the several experts of the 6 void realms present to be shocked. The casual attack of the Demon Master and Elder Darkbone was not something that ordinary void 6-stage experts like them could achieve. At the same time, it was also something that they could not withstand. Walala, after the spatial black hole appeared, the void started to recover at a terrifying speed. Meanwhile, the Demon Master and Elder Darkbone had already retreated. Chapter 3487 was easily deciphered. Just comparing power, the 2 of them look similar. X1 Master said. Very normal. Both are at the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void, and both have grasped 7 portions of willpower power. In terms of basic power, they are comparable. The only difference is that both have grasped the fusion principles, and who is more proficient in a head-on collision. But now, it seems that both have grasped the nature of the laws and they are not too different. Marquis Duanyu laughed. However, the power of the divine power is about the same, so it doesn't mean much. X1 Master added. As expected, in the center of the battlefield, the 2 people who had separated moved again. This time, the 2 of them moved at the same time, but in an instant, their figures disappeared from everyone's sight. While the spectators were still thinking of ways to capture the figures of the 2 of them, bang! A loud boom was heard. The 2 had already exchanged blows in the void of the battlefield. The power that burst out in an instant was earth-shaking, and the airwaves swept wildly. The spectators were affected by the power and immediately looked toward the source. However, when they looked over, they could not see anything. Instead, another violent boom was emitted from another void. Boom, boom, boom. The booms came one after another. Not only Jianghu Shuang but even the rules masters of the 6 void realms could not catch the figures of Demon Master Chenhua and Elder Darkbone. They could only follow the booms to find their positions. However, when they followed the voice, they found that Demon Master Chenhua and Elder Darkbone were already in other places. It was too much for them to handle. Everyone's eyes could not keep up with the speed of Demon Master Chenhua and Elder Darkbone. Too fast, too fast. I'm a principles master of the 6 void realms, but I can't keep up with their speed? Indeed, the experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms are really terrifying. X1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master could not help but exclaim in admiration. Even they could not keep up with the speed of Demon Master Chenhua and Elder Darkbone, so Jianghu Shuang naturally could not keep up with them. This is true speed. Jianghu Shuang clenched his hands. Although I have comprehended the spacetime principles and am very good at speed, many experts at the 5 void realms can't keep up with me when I use my full strength. My speed is like a child's play compared to Senior Sinking Fire or Elder Darkbone. It's ridiculous. On the battlefield, the speed unleashed by Demon Master Chenhua and Elder Darkbone was indeed too shocking. And it was very obvious that the 2 of them were currently competing in speed. This competition lasted for a long period of time. The 2 of them had clashed nearly 100 times, but they were still unable to determine the victor. Haha, Demon Master Chenhua, your speed is indeed very impressive. Elder Darkbone let out a strange laugh. Among the principles I control there are 2 major principles, wind and thunder. I myself am quite good at speed, but I didn't expect that my full speed would still be unable to surpass yours. Demon Master Chenhua narrowed his eyes. Just based on speed, it is impossible to determine the victor. You should bring out your true ability. Elder Darkbone laughed. As you wish. Demon Master Chenhua's face was cold. A majestic power had begun to gather around him. At the same time, a rich golden light began to erupt from the scarlet gold glove on his right hand. Here it comes, the ultimate move of Chenhua. Jian Wushuang's pupils shrank. The two most powerful ultimate moves of Demon Master Chenhua were Divine Destruction and Dragon God Destruction. Judging from the power accumulated by Demon Master Chenhua and his movements, he must have intended to use Divine Destruction first. Boom. Heaven and earth shook and endless golden light gathered. In the blink of an eye, a huge golden sun rose up. The golden sun brought with it an incomparably terrifying impact force as it crushed toward Elder Darkbone. Although they stood outside the battlefield and were far away from the golden sun, the spectators, including the principals masters of the 6 void realms, could not help but feel a sense of fear when they saw the golden sun. I could not help but feel a sense of dread. It was as if the golden sun were to come at them, and they would not be able to resist it. But as a golden sun target of Demon Master Chenhua, but only a faint smile, followed by the hands of the pitch-black sword again cut out. Is still light as if there is no strength of a knife, but the moment the knife light cut out, but with a sense of destruction. Instantly the saber light flashed through the golden sun, directly splitting it in half. The earth-shaking might contained within the golden sun also retreated to the sides. My Sky God Annihilation was actually broken so easily? Seeing the result in front of him, even the Demon Master Chenhua could not help but reveal a trace of surprise. Demon Master Chenhua, do you have any more powerful ultimate moves? Elder Darkbone still looked at the Demon Master Chenhua with a faint smile. Demon Master Chenhua snorted coldly, and in an instant, his majestic might once again condensed. The sky was still filled with golden light, and it was still that enormous golden sun. However, at this moment, the golden sun that Demon Master Chenhua displayed was a full size larger than before. Furthermore, this golden sun had a wildness that the previous golden sun did not have. This wildness was as if this golden sun could explode at any time. Dragon God Destruction. The most powerful ultimate move of the Demon Master Chenhua had already been fully displayed in his hands. At this moment, the Demon Master Chenhua had also used his full strength. And looking at the golden sun at this moment, Elder Darkbone's gaze finally tightened. Not only has he broken through to the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void, he has even created the most powerful ultimate move? Interesting. Elder Darkbone smiled again, following which the pitch-black battle saber in his hand slashed out once again. Wah! This saber was no longer the soft and feeble one from before. This saber strike was rather swift and fierce, and it was indomitable. In the blink of an eye, the saber light had already slashed onto the golden sun, and in an instant the golden sun split apart. However, before the shocking might contained within the golden sun started to erupt, that pitch-black saber light already had a world-destroying intent. It completely annihilated the power contained in the golden sun. In other words, the huge golden sun had already been annihilated by the saber light of Elder Darkbone before it could even erupt with its proper power. Elder Darkbone was still able to easily neutralize Demon Master Chenhua's most powerful move, Dragon God Annihilation. How is this possible? Demon Master Chenhua was stunned. He blocked it so easily? Jian Wushuang was also very surprised. It's a little too powerful. Axe One Master and the others also widened their eyes in astonishment. Chapter 3488. He had lived for far too long. Demon Master Chenhua, I've already asked you to attack twice. Furthermore, you've already used your strongest move. Next, you should also receive my blade. Elder Darkbone smiled faintly. Demon Master Chenhua immediately prepared himself. Under everyone's gaze, Elder Darkbone attacked once again. Wah! Elder Darkbone did not take too long to gather his strength before he casually slashed out with his blade. This slash was indeed very casual. It did not seem like he was using any powerful ultimate move. Moreover, after the battle blade attacked, the void in front of him did not even have the slightest ripple. There was not even a blade light. Elder Darkbone's blade did not seem to have any effect on the surrounding void, nor did it have any power bursting out. Seeing this scene, the few people watching the battle revealed puzzled expressions. Even the Demon Master Chenhua frowned slightly. However, suddenly the expression of the Demon Master Chenhua changed. His right hand instantly gathered a majestic power and exploded toward the void in front of him. Bang! His fist smashed into the void in front of him. There was actually a formless and terrifying blade light charging over. Fortunately, Demon Master Chenhua reacted in time. In any case, this formless blade light had directly struck his body. Even though he reacted, the power contained within that formless blade light was still not something that Demon Master Chenhua's last-minute punch could compare to. After an intense explosion sounded, Demon Master Chenhua's body suddenly shot out. He directly shot to the edge of the battlefield before he finally came to a stop. He regained his balance, but at this moment he was shocked. He looked at his right hand with a look of disbelief. Elder Darkbone had already put away his blade and looked at him again. Dark Fire Demon Master, you don't have to be too surprised. You may not know this, but I have lived for a very long time. During this long time, I have been to the universe battlefield many times and met countless great beings. I have even met many ruler-level great beings in the universe battlefield. And even in the universe battlefield, there are no restrictions on the ruler-level experts. Under the premise that they can unleash their strongest strength, this old man still has the confidence to survive in the hands of an ordinary ruler-level expert. As for the experts at the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void, this old man has met even more in the universe battlefield. But among these experts at the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void, other than Di Shirsan from the 7-star mysterious sect, there is really no one who is a match for this old man. You have just broken through to the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void not long ago, so it is very normal for your strength to be inferior to this old man. Right? Life Fall King laughed, but in terms of strength, Elder Darkbone is indeed much stronger than ordinary experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms. It is precisely because of this that he was able to survive against a ruler-level expert, which is why he has the qualifications to befriend me. As for you, Demon Master Chenhua, you have just broken through to the pinnacle of the 6 void realms, yet you are already so strong. It is already very rare, but if you want to challenge Chenhua, you are still lacking quite a bit. I was defeated in this battle. I am completely convinced of my defeat, Demon Master Chenhua said directly. He could already tell that although he was already on the same level as Elder Darkbone was far stronger than him in terms of true strength. This could be seen from Elder Darkbone's extremely casual manner when he fought with him. When Elder Darkbone fought with him, he should not have used his full strength. Moreover, Elder Darkbone himself had said that even in the universe battlefield, he was confident that he could survive in front of a ruler-level expert. This ability was something that even the Demon Master Chenhua felt inferior to. One had to know that a ruler-level expert, even in the divine beginning realm, was still stronger than a saint realm master under the restriction of the will of the heavenly Tao. In the universe battlefield, a ruler-level expert could display his peak strength without any restrictions. His combat strength was definitely dozens of times stronger than that of a master of the saint realm or even more. In the face of such absolute strength, Demon Master Chenhua was confident in his survival. One could only imagine how powerful he was. Alright you two, this battle ends here. Jian Wushuang had already walked forward. He glanced at Demon Master Chenhua and asked, "How do you feel, Chenhua? How can a loser feel?" "I still don't understand the last move he made," Demon Master Chenhua said. "Yes, we don't understand the move either. What's going on?" X1 Master asked. The last blade that Elder Darkbone used was indeed a little too strange. That was because in their view, that blade did not produce any ripples and did not affect the void at all. They did not even see where the blade light was. Even Demon Master Chenhua did not sense the blade light at the beginning. It was only later that he could sense it because the blade light was attacking him. And seeing everyone's puzzled look, Elder Darkbone laughed. "Actually, that blade of mine was nothing. In terms of power, it was slightly weaker than the strongest move of Demon Master Chenhua. However, that blade of mine was somewhat illusory. This is also related to the principles that I have grasped. Of course, the main reason is that I have been roaming the universe battlefield for too long and have fought with all kinds of experts. There are many top-tier warriors fighting with each other. During these battles, they have naturally comprehended some unique ultimate moves. For example, that blade just now is considered a unique ultimate move. In the future, if you have roamed the universe battlefield for a long time and fought with many top-tier warriors, you might also be able to comprehend some unique ultimate moves. Is that so? Everyone could understand. Elder Darkbone's blade was indeed strange, but when they thought about how long he had lived, everyone felt relieved. He had lived for such a long time and fought with countless top-tier great beings. Under such circumstances, it would be strange if he could not comprehend some special techniques and ultimate moves. Although I have reached the pinnacle of the 6 void realms, I have never been to the universe battlefield, Demon Master Chenhua could not help but say. Neither have I, Jian Wushuang said. At the same time he immediately remembered that among the few opportunities left by Shui Bei in the Blood North Secret Realm, there was a star map of the universe battlefield. The star map was to go to a special place, but since he had never been to the universe battlefield, he naturally had not been there. The universe battlefield is the real paradise for experts. It seems that after I finish what I've done here and extract Shuang Er's soul, he'll have to go to the universe battlefield to experience it, Jian Wushuang thought to himself. Chapter 3489 Spirit Ancestor's Shock. Well, the sparring is over. Next, we should discuss how to deal with De Ying and the Blood Clan, Shower said. With the addition of Mr. Elder Darkbone and Lord Life Fall King, the strength of our camp has greatly increased. With such strength, we don't need to discuss how to deal with the Blood Clan and De Ying, who is already in a weakened state with a severely injured soul. We can just fight them directly, Axe One Master said. That's right. We already have absolute strength, so we don't need to waste time. We can attack directly. But before that, I have to invite someone, Jian Wushuang said. Who? Shower looked over. Spirit Ancestor, Jian Wushuang said. The reason I want to kill the Blood Clan's Grandmaster is because of the agreement between me and Spirit Ancestor. Now that we're going to attack the Blood Clan, we naturally have to invite her to witness it. Once she arrives, we'll attack immediately. Sure. Shower nodded. Elder Darkbone, Lightfall King, and Axe One Master naturally did not have any objections. On the same day, Jian Wushuang sent a message to Spirit Ancestor. A few days later, Spirit Ancestor arrived at the Nine-Tailed Clan. Heavenly Sword Marquis, I already know what you did in the Demon Realm with the Divine Moon Palace. Now that you've specially invited me here, are you planning to attack the Blood Clan? Spirit Ancestor asked directly when she saw Jian Wushuang. Spirit Ancestor, don't worry. Come with me first. Jian Wushuang smiled and led Spirit Ancestor to a palace below. Spirit Ancestor followed Jian Wushuang to the palace. However, as soon as she stepped into the palace, she immediately saw many figures sitting in the palace. At the same time, she also felt the rich and powerful auras emitted by these figures. 6 realms of the void, so many experts of the 6 realms of the void. Even though the Spirit Ancestor was experienced and knowledgeable, she was also shocked by the lineup before her. One must know that even the Heavenly Ancestor Taoist sect, one of the 3 great freedom alliances of the Divine Beginning Realm, did not have as many principles masters of the 6 realms of the void who stayed in the Divine Beginning Realm all year round. Not to mention, other than a few principles masters of the 6 realms of the void, she could not even sense the specific level of a few others. This made her even more shocked. Spirit Ancestor, let me introduce you first. This is Miss Shower, the Palace Master of Divine Moon Palace. She created Divine Moon Palace by herself, and now she has regained control of the Nine-Tailed Clan, Jian Wushuang said. Palace Master of Divine Moon Palace? Spirit Ancestor was stunned, but when she saw Shower, she was a little surprised. She did not know that Palace Master of Divine Moon Palace was only in the 4th realm of the Void Realm. However, what Jian Wushuang said next shocked her. This is Lord Su, Miss Shower's servant. Next to him is Master of Shadow Fox of the Nine-Tailed Clan. You should have heard of him. Lord Su? Servant? Ancestor Spirit was shocked. These 3 are Axe One Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master, Jian Wushuang introduced. However, as Axe One Master had warned him not to reveal the existence of Star Palace, he did not mention that the 3 of them were from Star Palace. Spirit Ancestor looked at Axe One Master and the other 2 with a strange expression. Although she was a loner and never paid attention to the outside world, she knew most of the powerful principles masters in the Divine Beginning Realm. However, she had never heard of Axe One Master and the other 2. Then Jian Wushuang brought Spirit Ancestor to Demon Master Chenhua. This is Demon Master Chenhua, Jian Wushuang said. I know him. He was with you when you came to the Divine Ancestor Taoist sect. He is so strong that even Spirit Ancestor thought he was weaker than you, Spirit Ancestor said. Yes, but not long ago Chenhuo's strength improved after the battle with De Ying. Now he has reached the pinnacle of the 6 void realms, Jian Wushuang said. What? Spirit Ancestor was shocked and looked at Demon Master Chenhua with a humble expression. Spirit Ancestor, this is Elder Darkbone. You should have heard of him, Jian Wushuang said. Elder Darkbone? Spirit Ancestor glanced at Elder Darkbone and said with a smile, Mr. Elder Darkbone, long time no see. How have you been? Haha, last time I saw you, you were still seeking revenge against the Blood Clan for your husband's death. I didn't expect Heavenly Sword Marquis to invite me to kill the clan leader of the Blood Clan to make a deal with you. Elder Dark Bone laughed leisurely. Obviously, he had interacted with Spirit Ancestor before. Spirit Ancestor could not help but smile. Spirit Ancestor, there's one more. This is Life Fall King, a good friend of Elder Dark Bone. This time he came with Elder Dark Bone. In addition, Life Fall King is a ruler-level expert, Jianghu Shuang said. Ruler level. Spirit Ancestor was shocked and immediately looked at Life Fall King in shock. At the same time, he bowed respectfully and said, "Greetings, my lord." Life Fall King only glanced at Spirit Ancestor and did not say anything. Spirit Ancestor, all of you here are the experts who came with me to the Blood Clan to kill the Blood Clan leader for you. Do you still feel satisfied? Jianghu Shuang said. Yes, of course I'm satisfied. Spirit Ancestor was extremely excited at this moment. Her body was even slightly trembling. After all, she had been waiting for this day for a long time. Before this, she really could not find any way to kill the Blood Clan leader. Later, when she finally met Jianghu Shuang, she saw that Jianghu Shuang had great potential and unlimited possibilities. It just so happened that Jianghu Shuang needed her help, so she made such a request to kill the Blood Clan leader. In fact, she knew that such a request was indeed a bit too much, but she had no choice but to seize this slim chance. She did not expect that Jianghu Shuang would actually agree to her request and kill the Blood Clan leader for her with all his strength. Moreover, he had invited a lineup that was simply shocking to her. 5 ordinary experts of the 6 Void Realms, 2 experts of the ultimate of the 6 Void Realms, and a true Saint Master Realm expert. If such a lineup could not kill the Blood Clan leader, it meant that she would not be able to avenge her husband in the future. Spirit Ancestor, since you are satisfied with this lineup, then what I said before, Jianghu Shuang looked at Spirit Ancestor. Heaven Marquis, don't worry. It would be good if we could successfully kill the Blood Clan leader during this trip. Even if we are lucky enough to let the Blood Clan leader escape, as long as everyone here has done their best, I will not have any regrets. I will still do my best to help you do that, Spirit Ancestor said. That's good. Jianghu Shuang nodded with satisfaction. Chapter 3490 Target, the Blood Clan. In that case, let's not waste any time. Let's go to the Blood Clan now. Jianghu Shuang suggested. The surrounding people looked at each other and nodded. Then they set off directly. Because their purpose this time was to kill Deciphered and the Blood Clan leader, they did not want to wipe out the Blood Clan. Therefore, they were the only ones who set off to the Blood Clan. As for the principals masters of the Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan who were below the 6th realm of the Void Realm, none of them went. The Blood Clan land was far away from the Nine-Tailed Clan. It would take a long time for ordinary experts to travel, but this time almost all the experts who went to the Blood Clan were above the 6th realm of the Void Realm. They traveled at a terrifying speed. In less than half a day, they had arrived outside the ancestral land of the Blood Clan. When they arrived, the Blood Clan did not receive any news. The entire Blood Clan was very calm, but the clan-protecting formation of the Blood Clan had been operating normally. Marquis Duanyu, it's up to you. Jianghu Shuang glanced at Marquis Duanyu. Leave it to me. But if any experts of the Blood Clan come out, please block them for me. Don't let them affect me, Marquis Duanyu said. Don't worry. With our formation there, no one from the Blood Clan will dare to come out, Jianghu Shuang said. Marquis Duanyu nodded and immediately rushed toward the ancestral land of the Blood Clan. There was a huge formation outside the ancestral land, which was the protection formation of the Blood Clan. Marquis Duanyu appeared next to the formation and began to crack it. However, it was the protection array of the Divine Clan after all. Its power level was extremely high. Marquis Duanyu's act of cracking it openly caused quite a commotion. In a secret room in the ancestral land of the Blood Clan. This secret room was extremely hidden. Even many of the elders and high-level experts of the Blood Clan did not know of the existence of such a secret room, let alone an innocent intruder. At this moment, there were 2 people sitting in this secret chamber. One of them was wearing a blood robe. His face was thin, but his skin was extremely ruddy as if it was stained with a layer of faint blood. He was the clan leader of the Blood Clan, also known as the Blood Master. As for the other person, he was wearing a black robe. His entire body was wrapped in the black robe, so it was impossible to see his exact appearance. Moreover, the aura emitted from his body was also extremely cold. There was even an extremely evil aura. Yama, what does your master mean by that? The Blood Master frowned and asked. Blood Master, don't be anxious. Under the black robe, a hoarse voice slowly sounded. It's not that you don't know my master's position. This matter involves not only the Nine-Tailed Clan, but also Heavenly Sword Marquis. As you know, Heavenly Sword Marquis, Even the three great Saint Realms can't do anything to him now. They have no intention of attacking him for the time being. No matter what, my master still has to stand with the three great Saint Realms on the surface. If my master really wants to help you at all costs, that would be to directly shed all pretense of cordiality with Heavenly Sword Marquis. At that time, we still don't know what will happen to Heavenly Sword Marquis. However, the three Saint Realm Masters will definitely blame my master. Humph, with your master's strength and methods, are you afraid that the three Saint Realm Masters will blame him? The Blood Master coldly glanced at the black-robed man. Of course. After all, my master is currently living under someone else's roof. He has to listen to the three Saint Realm Masters more or less. It is obvious that the three Saint Realm Masters want to follow the Heavenly Sword Marquis and find an opportunity to give him a fatal blow. However, if the Heavenly Sword Marquis is alerted because of my master's rash attack, the three Saint Realm Masters will definitely be unhappy, the black-robed man said indifferently. In other words, your master is not willing to get involved in this matter? The Blood Master said coldly. I didn't say that, but in my opinion, since you sincerely want to cooperate with my master will not reject you so easily. Otherwise he would not have sent me here personally. It can be said that my master is still willing to cooperate with you, Blood Master. However, my master has a lot of things to worry about now, so he has not made a definite decision. He will have to wait a little longer and see what the situation is like before deciding, the black-robed man said. It depends on the situation? The Blood Master was shocked and angry. Humph, if we look at the situation again, the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Heavenly Marquis of Sword will attack us. It's not necessary. Even if the Heavenly Sword Marquis joins hands with the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Divine Moon Palace, their lineup is indeed much stronger than the Blood Clan. However, the Blood Clan now has not only you but also Daing. With you two experts at the peak of the 6 states of the void, what can they do to you with only one expert at the peak of the 6 states of the void? Besides, I'm among the Blood Clansmen now. If they really attack, I'll naturally lend you a hand, the black-robed man said. With your words I feel a little relieved. The Blood Master let out a sigh of relief. But suddenly, the Blood Master's expression changed and he stood up abruptly. What's wrong? The black-robed man looked over. It's a formation. Our clan's protective formation has been attacked, and the formation spirit told me that that person is using a special method to break the formation. If he continues to break the formation like that, it won't be long before the formation spirit can't hold on any longer. The Blood Master said in a deep voice. Break the formation? The black-robed man stood up in shock. It's the Nine-Tailed Clan. It must be the Nine-Tailed Clan's people who have come to kill us. There's also that Heavenly Sword Marquis. At this time only they would dare to attack us, and only their people can break our clan's formation so quickly. The Blood Master immediately became nervous. Daing told me before that the array of the Nine-Tailed Clan was broken by a mysterious expert of the 6 states of the void in the camp of the Divine Moon Palace. The array of the Nine-Tailed Clan is a 5-element array from the universe battlefield. However, in terms of level, it's higher than the array of the Blood Clan. Even the array of the Nine-Tailed Clan can't withstand it. Naturally, the array of the Blood Clan will also be broken by that person. The black-robed man's aura surged as he said leisurely, I didn't expect that the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Heavenly Sword Marquis would actually dare to attack the Blood Clan so quickly. Where did they get their courage from? It's over now. They've already charged over. We should think of a way to stop them first, the Blood Master said in a deep voice. Don't be anxious. The black-robed man waved his sleeve and said in a deep voice, Blood Master, didn't you invite many experts who are skilled in formations to prevent the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Heavenly Sword Marquis from attacking? These experts can be used now. Chapter 3491 Array Defense. Yes, I almost forgot. These experts who are good at array formations all have an extremely high level of research in array formations. Moreover, they came to the inner part of our Blood Clan very early and began to study our clan's protective array formations. They already have a very good understanding of our clan's protective array formations. As for the person who broke the formation invited by the Nine-Tailed Clan, although he has a very high attainment in formations, he is only one person. Moreover, he is outside the formation so he can break the formation outside. The experts I invited are constantly repairing and fighting against him inside the formation. With so many people working together with the formation spirit, I don't believe he can break our clan's protective formation. A cold smile appeared on the Blood Master's face. He had long been on guard against the Nine-Tailed Clan and Jianghu. In particular, he had learned from Daing that the Nine-Tailed Clan had been conquered largely because the clan's protective array had been broken by someone, that meant that the other party must have an expert in array formation. Therefore, in order to be on the safe side, he had paid a great price to invite many experts with high attainments in array formation. Now, these experts could be used. Following the Blood Master's instructions, the experts who were good at the field of formation quickly began to cooperate with the spirit of the formation to fight against Marquis Duanyu. As the Blood Clan already knew that the Nine-Tailed Clan and Jian Wushuang had come to attack, they were also on full alert. The entire Blood Clan could be said to be on full alert. In the void outside the Blood Clan, Jian Wushuang and the others were also waiting quietly. They waited for a full hour. Something is wrong. Axe One Master frowned and said, Marquis Duanyu's attainments in the Tao of formation have long reached the peak. Even the five-elemental formation of the Nine-Tailed Clan did not take him long to crack without anyone's influence. However, the Guardian formation of the Blood Clan is not as high-level or as complicated as the five-elemental formation of the Nine-Tailed Clan. Yet, Marquis Duanyu still hasn't cracked it after an hour? Yes, it's a little strange. Jian Wushuang nodded. However, they did not go up to him to ask about it because Marquis Duanyu was still breaking the formation and the Blood Clan did not send any experts to disturb him. At this moment, Marquis Duanyu, who had been in the middle of breaking the formation, finally opened his eyes and got up to return. Marquis Duanyu, how is it? Axe One Master hurriedly asked. You look like you've run into some trouble. Jian Wushuang also asked. I did run into some trouble. Marquis Duanyu nodded and said, the level of this formation isn't very high, and I've known about it before. As long as no one interferes with me, it's easy to break this formation. But I didn't expect that the Blood Clan had been prepared. Prepared? Everyone was puzzled. If I'm not mistaken, there should be more than a dozen or more experts who are proficient in array within the Blood Clan. These experts already have a very good understanding of the Blood Clan's protective array. If they work together and cooperate with the spirit of this array, they will continue to tangle with me. As soon as I break a place, they will immediately repair or change that place. They will constantly obstruct me, making it impossible for me to break this array. Marquis Duanyu said. Is that so? Everyone immediately understood. Previously, when they saw that no one from the Blood Clan had walked out of the formation, they thought that no one could affect Marquis Duanyu. They did not expect that the Blood Clan could actually make those experts who were good at formations. It had a great impact on Marquis Duanyu from inside the formation. However, that Blood Clan leader has clearly underestimated me. Marquis Duanyu smiled again. He thought that by inviting these experts who are good at arrays to obstruct me from cracking the array formation from the inside, he would be able to ensure that this array formation is complete. However, he didn't know that the experts he invited who are good at arrays are just a bunch of useless chickens and dogs. Their understanding of arrays might be at the level of a master in the divine beginning realm. However, if they were placed in the universe battlefield, they wouldn't even be able to compare. They don't know how changeable the array is, nor do they know how many ways to break it. For example, the one I used to break it one by one is just one of the ways to break it. But there are more ways to break it. They have never come into contact with it, so how can they really hinder me? So, Marquis Duanyu, you already have a way to break the array? Jian Wushuang's eyes lit up. Yes, I have secretly arranged many methods in the magic array during the fight with them. Now, as long as I activate these methods at the same time, the magic array will be in a temporary state of stagnation. In this short period of time, only one of you, Demon Master Qinhua or Mr. Elder Dark Bone, can easily break this magic array, Marquis Duanyu said. Amazing. Axe One Master could not help but exclaim. In that case, Qinhua, please help Marquis Duanyu to break the formation, Jian Wushuang said. Sure. Demon Master Qinhua nodded slightly and then walked toward the formation with Marquis Duanyu. Demon Master Qinhua, this is the place. As long as you stand here, you can attack the formation immediately if I ask you to. It doesn't need to be very powerful. With the strength of an expert at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms, you can break the formation with just one attack, Marquis Duanyu said. Understood. Demon Master Qinhua nodded. As for Marquis Duanyu, he closed his eyes and began to activate the techniques he left behind in the array. A moment later, Marquis Duanyu's eyes opened once again. At this moment, Demon Master Qinhua, make your move. Marquis Duanyu shouted. Demon Master Qinhua did not hesitate. He raised his right hand and a majestic might condensed in it. Following that, he punched out toward the array in front of him. The fist smashed into the light membrane of the magic formation like a meteorite. Because the magic formation was in a temporary state of stagnation, it was impossible to distribute all the power of Demon Master Qinhua's punch to every corner. Moreover, the spot where Demon Master Chenhua attacked was the weak point of the magic formation. Therefore, the punch instantly blew a big hole in the light membrane of the magic formation. The appearance of the big hole immediately caused the entire formation to collapse. The overwhelming power began to retreat frantically. In a short while, the protective formation of the Blood Clan had disappeared, and the Blood Clan had been completely exposed to Jianwu Shuang and the others. Axe 1 Master, Star Saint Master, Lord Su, and Lord Shadow Fox. Marquis Duan Yu shouted in a low voice. Axe 1 Master, Star Saint Master, Lord Su, and Lord Shadow Fox were already prepared. They were standing in 4 corners of the ancestral land of the Blood Clan. After hearing Marquis Duan Yu's shout, the 4 of them attacked at the same time. Instantly, with Marquis Duan Yu as the core, a brand new array formation was formed. This array formation was the Netherjade 5-kill array formation. Chapter 3492 Charge into the Blood Clan. In the ancestral land of the Blood Clan, the Blood Master initially thought that the experts who were skilled in arrays that he had invited had successfully stopped Marquis Duan Yu from breaking the array. He was originally extremely happy, but suddenly, the protective array of the Blood Clan was broken. This sudden change caused the Blood Master to turn pale with fright. The entire Blood Clan became extremely nervous. The many high-level experts of the Blood Clan all rose up with solemn expressions. Especially when the Netherjade 5-kill formation around the Blood Clan was formed, the Blood Clan experts all felt a trace of panic in their hearts. What's going on? Wasn't the person who broke the formation already blocked? How did he break it all of a sudden? What's going on? The Blood Master's expression was unsightly as he continuously roared. It's too late to say this now. The formation has been broken. This is the truth. However, even if the formation is broken, the combined forces of the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Heavenly Sword Marquis might not be able to do anything to you. The mysterious black-robed man beside him said. The Blood Master's gaze darkened as he nodded to himself. At this moment, De Ying, who was originally in seclusion within the Blood Clan, was alarmed by the commotion here. He had also forcefully broken through and appeared beside the Blood Master. Blood Master, what's going on? De Ying frowned as she looked around at the huge formation that had formed around her. That formation had brought her quite a bit of pressure. What else can be going on? Isn't it just the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Heavenly Sword Marquis that are charging over? You clearly know that there are 2 experts at the peak of the 6 states of the void in our Blood Clan, yet you still dare to charge in. You really have guts. The Blood Master snorted coldly. He then looked at De Ying. De Ying, how has your strength recovered during these few days of closed-door cultivation? The backlash to my soul was too severe previously. I was only in closed-door cultivation for such a short period of time, and my battle strength was unable to recover to its peak. Now, I can only display close to 70% of my battle strength. Bing said. Close to 70%? That's about it. If you and I join hands, a mere expert at the peak of the 6 states of the void would not be able to take us down. If it really doesn't work, isn't Elder Darkbone around? The Blood Master glanced at the black-robed man beside him. Don't worry, Blood Master. If it comes to a critical moment, I will take action, the black-robed man said. That's good. The Blood Master nodded slightly. After the Netherjade 5-kill formation was set up, Jianwu Shuang and the others who had been waiting outside, finally walked into the Blood Clan Ancestor's land and soon appeared in front of the Blood Master, De Ying and the others. De Ying, do you think you can hide in the Blood Clan and live in peace? Shower stared at De Ying with a cold face. Deji, I admire you. Not only are you able to find so many powerful helpers, but you are also very good at setting up formations. If I'm not wrong, the formations you are setting up around here should be used to prevent me from escaping, right? De Ying said in a low voice. That's right. This array is prepared to kill experts like you who have reached the peak of the 6 states of the void. This array is called the Netherjade 5-kill array. It is formed by the joint efforts of 5 experts of the 6 states of the void. De Ying, if you have the ability, you can go and try to see if you can escape from this array. Shower said with a cold smile. The array formed by 5 experts of the 6 states of the void? De Ying's face sank. Actually, there was no need to try. When she was trapped in the formation and felt the power of the formation, she had guessed that it would be difficult for her to break out of the formation. Even if she joined hands with the Blood Masters and Yama, it would be difficult for her to break out of the formation. However, even if she could not break out of the formation, it did not mean that they would die. After all, this was the ancestral land of the Blood Clan. There were many Blood Clan experts present, and there were also the Blood Master and Yama. De Ying had some confidence. Deji, since you want to kill me, then bring out all your methods. I want to see if you really have the ability, said Daing. Don't worry, I won't let you down. Shower smiled coldly. At this moment, the spirit ancestor also took a step forward and stared at the Blood Master. He said in a low voice, Blood Master, do you still remember me? Oh, isn't this the spirit ancestor of the Heavenly Ancestor Taoist sect? Why, are you also involved in today's battle? However, what can you do with your strength? The Blood Master stared at the spirit ancestor with a strange smile. Although the spirit ancestor was also the ruler of the rules of the 6 states of the void, her combat strength was still far from the peak of the 6 states of the void. She was only slightly better at the aspect of the soul. The Blood Master did not take her to heart at all. Yes, I can't threaten you with my strength alone, but I'm afraid you don't know that it's because of me that Heavenly Sword Marquis is willing to spend so much effort to kill you. Spirit Ancestor said coldly. What did you say? The Blood Master frowned immediately. Blood Master, Spirit Ancestor is right, Jian Wushuang said at this moment. The reason why I didn't hesitate to attack the Blood Clan was because I had an agreement with Spirit Ancestor that I would help her kill you. Without this reason, who would dare to attack the Blood Clan, one of the 4 divine clans? I see, the Blood Master said. I didn't expect that Spirit Ancestor, whom I didn't take seriously before, would bring so much trouble to the Blood Clan. Fortunately, even if you attack the Blood Clan and break the clan protection array, I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to kill me and Daing in the Blood Clan with your current lineup. It's true that we're not enough. Even the Demon Master Qinhua, who is by my side, would find it difficult to kill either of you. But do you think that's all I'm prepared for? Jian Wushuang chuckled. As soon as he finished speaking, 2 figures walked over from the void behind him. These 2 figures were Elder Darkbone and Life Fall King. Haha, Blood Master, right? I've never met you before. However, the previous 3 chiefs of your Blood Clan have met me many times. Elder Darkbone's laughter echoed in this world. The moment the Blood Master saw Elder Darkbone, his pupils shrank. You are Elder Darkbone? The Blood Master's face changed drastically. How can that be? I thought you never cared about the fights between the forces of the Divine Beginning Realm. Why are you willing to help Heavenly Sword Marquis now? It's up to me whether I want to join the fights between the forces of the Divine Beginning Realm or not. If I'm willing to help Heavenly Sword Marquis, who in the Divine Beginning Realm can do anything about it? Elder Darkbone sneered. Hearing Elder Darkbone's reply, the Blood Master and De Ying's faces became extremely ugly. Chapter 3493 Yama. Previously, Jian Wushuang only had one Demon Master Qinhua. Although he was also at the pinnacle of the 6th realm of the void, they were not too afraid of him. After all, it was almost impossible for Demon Master Qinhua to kill them alone. Even if he used a magic formation to trap them completely, he could not kill them. However, it would be completely different if there was an old monster named Elder Darkbone. Elder Darkbone was an old monster from the same era as the Heaven-Cleaving Alliance Master and the Temporal Temple Master. He had lived for too long and his strength was unfathomable. Most importantly, Elder Darkbone's methods were endless. He was famous for this. Even Saint Realm Masters did not dare to look down on him. One could imagine how terrifying this Elder Darkbone was. In the hearts of the Blood Master and De Ying, Elder Darkbone's threat to them was undoubtedly incomparable to that of Demon Master Qinhua. Even if 2 Demon Masters of the Qinhua realm were tied together, in their eyes, they could not compare to Elder Darkbone. Under such circumstances, Elder Darkbone still had to join hands with Demon Master Qinhua to deal with them? Alright, stop talking nonsense with them. Let's just attack, Jian Wushuang said. Our targets are only the Blood Master and De Ying. However, this is the ancestor land of the Blood Clan. As one of the 4 great divine clans, the Blood Clan has many Principals Masters. Although these Principals Masters are not very strong, they can still cause us a lot of trouble if they join hands. So, Life Fall King, please help us, Elder Darkbone said with a smile. Sure. Life Fall King did not refuse. With a wave of his hand, a purplish-green jade pot appeared in his hand. This purplish-green jade pot did not give off any shocking true treasure aura. It looked ordinary. However, the moment Life Fall King took out the jade pot and opened its lid, Hong. Beams of purplish-green light shot out in all directions like a spider web with the jade pot as its core. These purplish-green rays of light swept toward the many Principals Masters of the Blood Clan like a spider web. The sudden turn of events gave these Principals Masters of the Blood Clan a fright. They immediately attacked, wanting to shatter or block this purplish-green ray of light. Then, this purplish-green ray of light was incomparably tyrannical. Whenever it appeared in front of a Principal's Master, it would immediately wrap around this principal's master at a terrifying speed. However, no matter how this principal's master struggled, he could not get rid of the light beam. Even the principal's masters of the 5 void realms among the Blood Clan who were stronger could not get rid of the purplish-green light beam. They were also wrapped up and formed one purplish-green cocoon after another. In a short moment, all the principal's masters of the Blood Clan were trapped in the purplish-green cocoon. This is, Jianghu Shuang and the others were secretly shocked by what they saw. At the same time, they were deeply impressed by the fact that they were masters of the divine realm. Even though the masters of the divine realm from the outside world were greatly restricted and could not show their peak strength, their skills were still impressive. Now, they could easily restrain all the principal's masters of the Blood Clan with just a random item. Such skills were indeed incomparable to those of the principal's masters. These small characters have already been temporarily bound by me. Now it's up to you guys. Lifefall King laughed. Demon Master Qinhua, let's make our move. Elder Dark Bone glanced at Demon Master Qinhua. Demon Master Qinhua nodded slightly and then, so. These 2 ultimate experts of the 6 states of the void attacked at the same time. Both of them turned into streaks of light and appeared in front of the Blood Master and Daing respectively. The 2 of them picked one opponent each and began to kill. The Blood Master and Daing naturally would not give up without a fight. The 2 of them immediately used all their skills to defend. What was worth mentioning was that Demon Master Qinhua was fighting the Blood Master, and Daing's combat strength was not at its peak. He could only use 70% of his strength, and he was fighting the even more terrifying Elder Dark Bone. Even at her peak, Daing would probably find it difficult to survive against Elder Dark Bone, let alone now. Elder Dark Bone had only casually attacked, but in just 2 short exchanges, Daing felt an enormous life and death crisis. This won't do. Elder Dark Bone is too strong. Even if he casually attacked now, I wouldn't be able to hold on. The moment he puts in a bit of effort, I might be instantly killed by him. Daing was incomparably terrified. She did not dare to continue fighting with Elder Dark Bone. She immediately looked at the black-robed man who had been standing at the edge of the battlefield. Yama, why aren't you attacking? Daing shouted in a low voice. Yama? Jianghu Shuang frowned and fixed his eyes on the black-robed man. When he had just entered the Ancestor's land of the Blood Clan and met the Blood Master, he had already noticed the black-robed man next to the Blood Master. This was because the aura emitted by this black-robed man was very strange. Just like the previous Demon Master Qinhua, he could not sense it at all. The method of concealing one's aura was so tyrannical. His strength was definitely not weak. And now, along with Daing's cry for help, a helpless voice came from under the black robe. I originally thought that with the Blood Master and Daing, the 2 strongest experts at the peak of the 6 states of the void, there would be no need for me to make a move. But now it seems that it is still not enough. After the black-robed man finished speaking, his body moved in a strange manner and arrived beside Daing. At the same time, he blocked the attack that Elder Dark Bone had casually unleashed. Even though he blocked it, Elder Dark Bone's casual attack was so powerful that it was frightening. The black-robed man was immediately forced back. Kiki, as expected of Elder Dark Bone. His strength is really frightening. The black-robed man laughed coldly. If my guess is correct, you should be Yama from the Sorcerer God sect, right? Elder Dark Bone looked at the black-robed man calmly. He was not the least bit surprised that the black-robed man was able to receive his attack. It is me. I am truly flattered to be able to say my name from Elder Dark Bone's mouth. The black-robed man laughed. Hee, don't be humble. In the Sorcerer God sect, other than the Sorcerer God and that mysterious prophet, your status should be the highest, and your strength is only second to the 2 of them. Although I rarely interact with the Sorcerer God sect, I have heard of you, Yama, Elder Dark Bone said with a smile. It's just that I don't know when the Sorcerer God sect has become together with the Blood Clan. Today you still want to stand up for the Blood Clan in this Daing? I don't want it either. However, the Blood Clan and our Sorcerer God sect did have some history before. Now that everyone is attacking the Blood Clan in such a grand manner and I happen to be present, I can't just pretend that I didn't see it, right? The black-robed fella laughed. Chapter 3494 Fantasy Secret Skill. Now the question is, Elder Dark Bone and everyone here, can we give up on this for the sake of the Sorcerer God sect? Pluto looked around at Jianghu Shuang and the others and said calmly. Outside the battlefield, Jianghu Shuang, Shower and Spirit Ancestors' faces darkened. They had thought that the trip to the Blood Clan would be a success and that no major changes would occur. They had not expected that the Sorcerer God sect would get involved in this matter. The Sorcerer God sect was an extremely terrifying force. Its leader, the Sorcerer God, was a ruler-level expert. The black-robed Pluto who appeared in front of them seemed to have reached the peak of the 6 void realms based on his aura. He knew that he was standing in front of Elder Darkbone, however, he did not show any fear. Obviously, he had the confidence to face Elder Darkbone. However, it was impossible for them to give up this plan. Sorcerer God sect? Jian Wushuang's eyes turned cold. The Sorcerer God sect alone is not powerful enough to stop us. Yes, in today's battle, Deciphered and the Bloodmaster will die. Unless your Sorcerer God comes, you alone cannot stop us, Shower said. The Sorcerer God comes personally? Haha, it has been hundreds of years, but I wonder if his injuries have all been healed? Jian Wushuang sneered. In the battle on the Saha Island, he had received the power of the entire Bloodwave realm from Bloodwave. His strength had soared, and he had fought against the Flame Saint Master and the Sorcerer God alone. He had also used his most powerful killing move, he had severely injured the two of them. This battle was also the battle that made Jian Wushuang famous. Although it had been hundreds of years and the two of them had certainly recovered from their injuries, Jian Wushuang had brought up this matter to expose the scars of the Sorcerer God sect. Is that so? That's a pity. Pluto sighed and said slowly, since you don't want to leave, I can only try my best to stop you. With just you. Underworld Emperor looked at Pluto mockingly and then slashed out with one hand. A cold blade light instantly slashed out. This blade light, even if it was not used by a supreme treasure divine weapon, the instant it burst out, it still easily tore open space. The blade light carried a sharp power that seemed to be able to tear apart everything in the world, it even made the surrounding spectators jump in fear. His strength had reached Elder Darkbone's level, and he could destroy the world with just a raise of his hand. Seeing the blade light attacking, the Underworld Emperor was unmoved. Under his black robe, a strange smile spread out. Wah! The cold blade light directly passed through the Underworld Emperor's body, but it didn't touch any physical body. Instead, it completely passed through the Underworld Emperor's body. Oh! Underworld Emperor raised his brows and looked at Pluto with a hint of surprise. Thanks. In the Divine Beginning realm, everyone knows that Elder Darkbone, your strength is tyrannical and your methods are amazing. Even the masters of the Saint realm wouldn't dare to underestimate you. I, Pluto, also know my own limits. Of course, I'm not your opponent in a head-on fight. However, as long as I don't fight you head-on, I'm afraid that you won't be able to do anything to me, said Pluto with a strange smile. I've clearly locked onto his god body. He didn't dodge when the saber light slashed at him, but this saber light didn't touch him. It's really strange, muttered Underworld Emperor, then he slashed again with his right hand. The same saber light flew out again. However, the moment this saber light flew out, it split into 9. There were 9 saber lights and each of them was extremely sharp. Moreover, they slashed at Pluto from 9 different directions at the same time. However, the Underworld Emperor still smiled. His body did not move at all. In the end, the 9 blade lights still did not touch anything substantial and passed through the Elder Darkbone's body. This scene caused Elder Darkbone's expression to change slightly. The surprise in his eyes became even denser. Could it be that the person in front of you is not your actual body but merely an illusory body? Underworld Emperor frowned and asked. Ha, Elder Darkbone, you really have good eyesight. Underworld Emperor laughed. Then, more and more strange black-robed figures appeared beside him. These black-robed figures, whether it was their appearance or the aura they emitted, were exactly the same as Underworld Emperor. Whether it was with the naked eye or soul perception, one could not tell the difference between them. However, these strange black-robed figures continued to appear, dozens, hundreds, and nearly 1,000. In a short while, nearly 1,000 black-robed figures appeared in the world. Each of them looked exactly like Pluto and even their aura was the same. Jian Wushuang stood outside the battlefield and was shocked to see the thousands of black-robed figures appearing in the void in front of him. Because in his perception, any one of these black-robed figures was extremely powerful. It was a complete scene with Yama. He could not figure out which of these black-robed figures was Yama's real body. Illusion body secret skill? Elder Darkbone could not help laughing when he saw the scene around him. These illusions are so interesting that even I can't tell if they are real or fake. Elder Darkbone, I told you that I'm not your opponent in a head-on fight. However, it won't be a problem if I keep you busy. Now that I'm standing in front of you, you can think of a way to find my real body. Or you can ignore me and continue to kill Deciphered. However, you have to get rid of me first. Pluto smiled faintly. Let's give it a try. Elder Darkbone casually moved his body. His terrifying speed, which Jianghu could not see clearly, suddenly burst out. There was almost no trace left in the world. But suddenly, one of the nearly 1,000 black-robed figures struck out with lightning speed and a sharp claw attacked the void in front of him. This claw was clearly aimed at the empty space. However, just as the claw was about to land in that empty space, Elder Darkbone's figure suddenly appeared. This claw was coincidentally aimed at Elder Darkbone, causing him to be unable to immediately wave his hand to block it. Naturally, Elder Darkbone's figure was also blocked. After his figure was blocked, Elder Darkbone's expression finally became a little grave. You can keep up with my speed and even stop me in time. Your method is indeed powerful. Haha, it's just a small trick. It can't threaten you at all, Elder Darkbone. But as I said, it's almost impossible for you to break through my obstruction and kill Daing. Yama laughed. Chapter 3495. Fantasy Alliance, Song Heaven World. Yama was very confident. Although he was not Elder Darkbone's opponent and did not dare to fight him directly, he was confident that Elder Darkbone would not be able to do anything to him. Moreover, if he tried his best to stop him, Elder Darkbone would not be able to get away from him and get the chance to kill Daing. It seems like this old man is indeed having a hard time getting past you. Elder Darkbone nodded, but then he laughed. Haha, I didn't expect that after roaming the Divine Beginning Realm for so long, I would one day be stopped by a peak level 6 Void Realm expert. Moreover, there's nothing I can do. Underworld Emperor, you're really capable. You flatter me, but the truth is right in front of us. Elder Darkbone and everyone here listen to my advice and leave, said Underworld Emperor. However, upon hearing this, Elder Darkbone laughed even more happily. Ha, interesting, this is really interesting. Beside the battlefield, Lifefall King, who had his hands behind his back, also smiled and said, Elder Darkbone, you have lost a lot of face this time. I have no choice. This old man did not expect that this Underworld Emperor actually knew the illusory heaven technique of the Fantasy Alliance. Moreover, he has already cultivated this secret technique to the great success stage. All the illusory bodies and the original body have long merged into one and can change at any time. I really can't do anything to him, said Elder Darkbone casually. Well, it's strange that he has cultivated the illusionary heaven skill to the profound realm. It's worthy of being one of the 6 secret skills of the Fantasy Alliance. Lifefall King nodded. Elder Darkbone and Lifefall King were talking to each other. They seemed to be having a pleasant conversation, which confused Jianghu, Shower and Spirit Ancestor. Pluto's face darkened. How do you know the secret skill I used? And you know that I used the secret skill from the Fantasy Alliance? Elder Darkbone and Lifefall King looked at each other and laughed even more happily. Haha, Pluto, it's not your fault. Although I've been in the universe battlefield for a long time, I've never been to the Fantasy Alliance before, so I don't know the secret skill of the Fantasy Alliance. However, by chance I've made a good friend. He's the one who came with me this time, Lifefall King. Elder Darkbone laughed. Lifefall King, introduce yourself. Sure. Lifefall King nodded slightly and looked at Pluto. He said in a low voice, I come from the Song Heaven World, which is right next to the Fantasy Alliance. Besides, the Song Heaven World and the Fantasy Alliance have always been mortal enemies. Since we are mortal enemies, of course I know some secret techniques of the Fantasy Alliance and I know them very well. What? Pluto was shocked. He looked at Lifefall King in shock. This person in front of him came from the universe battlefield, and just happened to come from the Fantasy Alliance's mortal enemy, the Song Heaven World? Pluto, now you know. Elder Darkbone continued to laugh. I have been with Lifefall King for a long time. During our conversation, I naturally heard about the Fantasy Alliance. Of course, I also heard about the Fantasy Sky technique. Therefore, when you used this secret technique, Lifefall King probably recognized it at a glance. After I used 2 slashes consecutively, I also confirmed that it was this secret technique. Humph, even if you know the origin of my secret technique, so what? You still can't get around me to kill Daing. Pluto said coldly. Oh, is that so? Elder Darkbone grinned. Idiot. Lifefall King laughed disdainfully. Our Song Heaven World and the Fantasy Alliance are mortal enemies. Both sides have been fighting for many years, so we already know everything. The few powerful secret techniques of the Fantasy Alliance, including their weaknesses, do you think that Song Heaven World doesn't know? You can use this secret technique to deal with other people, even if you want to deal with Elder Darkbone, but you shouldn't have used it. You shouldn't have used it in front of me. However, it's not your fault. The Fantasy Alliance is extremely far away from the Divine Beginning Realm. It's because I've been wandering in the universe all year round that I came here and met Elder Darkbone. Under normal circumstances, the Divine Beginning Realm, the Fantasy Alliance, or the Cang Heaven World wouldn't have any contact with each other. Moreover, there are very few experts in the Fantasy Alliance, and most of their time is spent cultivating in the Fantasy Alliance. They rarely move around in the universe battlefield. Even if you want to move around, you have to at least reach the pinnacle of the Principal's Masters, and you obviously haven't reached that level yet. That is to say, you aren't a powerful warrior or disciple of the Fantasy Alliance at all. You just happen to get the Fantasy Sky technique left behind by the Fantasy Alliance and are good at cultivating this secret technique. Otherwise, if you knew that I was present, you wouldn't have dared to say such words just now. Hearing these words, Pluto suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart. That was right, he was not a powerful warrior of the Fantasy Alliance. He had never been to the Fantasy Alliance. He did not even know where the Fantasy Alliance was. He had only learned this secret technique by chance when he was adventuring in the universe battlefield. And now he was pointed out by Lifefall King. And it was obvious that Lifefall King knew how to deal with the Illusion Sky technique. Lifefall King, although this person isn't a disciple of the Fantasy Alliance, he has cultivated the Illusion Sky technique of the Fantasy Alliance after all. So, he has more or less been related to the Fantasy Alliance. Then this matter is related to you from the Cang Heaven World. So, they'll leave this Underworld Emperor to you. How about it? Elder Darkbone said with a strange smile. Sure. Lifefall King did not refuse. Before this, he did not care much about killing Deciphered or the Blood Clan leader. The reason why he came was because of Elder Darkbone. Even if he attacked, it was just to give face to Elder Darkbone. But now, the person in front of him was related to the Fantasy Alliance. That was his own matter. Those who are related to the Fantasy Alliance must die. Lifefall King's eyes were cold as he stared at Pluto. He waved his hand and a strange black pearl was thrown out. This pearl appeared on the battlefield before it exploded. As the pearl exploded, a strange power spread in the surrounding void space. As this power spread, the 1,000 figures gathered by Pluto started to dim. What? What's going on? The Underworld Emperor was shocked when he saw the scene around him. In just a short while, the black-robed figures around him disappeared completely, leaving only his original body standing there. The Underworld Emperor's expression was ugly. He wanted to use the Illusory Heaven technique again, but he immediately found that there seemed to be some special things in the void around him that prevented him from forming an illusion. He could not even form one illusion, let alone the thousands of illusions. At this moment, the Lifefall King's voice sounded, I said that your Illusion Sky technique won't work before I'm full. Chapter 3496 Sorcerer God, Scum of the Fantasy Alliance, Die. Lifefall King's voice was cold and murderous as he pointed out with a finger. This finger carried a strange power. The moment he pointed out, the void in front of him shattered. A huge and dark vortex appeared out of thin air. This vortex was vast and boundless, like a prehistoric giant beast that was crazily devouring everything around it. Following that, from within the vortex, a huge dark finger that seemed to extend from boundless hell charged toward the Underworld Emperor with destructive power. The Underworld Emperor stood there and looked at the huge dark finger that extended in front of him. His expression changed greatly in fear. This power, the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void, it is at least at the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void. It is even stronger than the blade light of Elder Darkbone. How is this possible? How can there be an existence stronger than Elder Darkbone among the experts present today? Pluto growled. He frantically tried to use his Illusory Heaven technique, but it was useless. He wanted to dodge the giant finger, but he was horrified to find that the giant dark finger had completely locked him down, preventing him from moving at all. He could only watch as the giant finger of darkness continued to enlarge in front of him. In the end, the giant finger of darkness was not affected at all and directly struck Pluto. Bang! A low rumble sounded and the void shook. After the giant finger of darkness displayed its full power, it slowly dissipated in the world. At this moment, Pluto's body had already been pushed to the ground by the giant finger. Even the ground had a huge hole. Pluto was at the bottom of the hole. He struggled to stand up slowly, however, his expression was no longer as relaxed as before. There was a miserable and pathetic look on his face. The black robe on his body was formed from a protective treasure. However, it was in tatters now. There was still blood on his body and the corner of his mouth. Especially the aura on his body. Compared to before, it was weakened by more than 40%. Too powerful. One attack has consumed more than 40% of my divine power. If I use this attack twice more, I will definitely die. Pluto raised his head and looked at Lifefall King with fear. Life Fall King frowned. He murmured, "The restriction of this world is too great for me. I can't even use 10% of my strength. I can't even kill an ant at the peak of the 6th void realm with one attack." Life Fall King was not satisfied with the result of his attack. However, the surrounding people such as Jianghu Shuang and the others had long been amazed. As expected of a ruler-level expert, even an outsider whose strength is limited by the power of the will of heaven cannot exert more than 10% of his strength. However, even with less than 10% of his strength, he can still easily crush Pluto and cause him to lose more than 40% of his divine power in one attack. I'm afraid that even Elder Darkbone cannot match his strength. Jian Wushuang sighed in his heart. Previously, Life Fall King said that he was too restricted and that the strength he could display in the divine beginning realm was not that great, so he could not count on him for this move. But now it seemed that Life Fall King was too modest. Or it could be said that previously Life Fall King did not have anything to do with him, so he did not want to personally make a move, so he deliberately said this. But now, because it involved the Fantasy Alliance, he had to personally make a move. The strength he displayed immediately frightened everyone. Life Fall King, your opponent is just a little guy at the peak of the 6th level of the void. Don't lose face in front of so many people. Elder Darkbone laughed weirdly. Humph, do I still need you to say it? Life Fall King's eyes turned cold, and a suffocating pressure suddenly erupted from his body. Die. Life Fall King pointed his finger out again. This finger crushed the time and space in the world. In an instant, a dark demon god that was over 30,000 feet tall appeared in the void. This dark demon god had 3 eyes. The third eye shot out a strange purple beam of light. With a violent swing of its huge arm, a huge fist that was like a huge, boundless dark star appeared. It carried an incomparable impact force and attacked Pluto ferociously. This dark star was even more powerful than the dark finger that Life Fall King had just used. Clearly Life Fall King was serious. He had pushed the power that he could use in the divine beginning realm to the extreme. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. The dark star formed by this punch made Pluto's expression change drastically. One had to know that Life Fall King's finger had used up more than 40% of his divine power. And now, this even stronger punch was likely enough to destroy all of his remaining divine power. Save me. Master, save me. Pluto knew that he could not block that punch. He would most likely die in that punch. Thus, he did not have the slightest intention to block it. Instead, he directly crushed a dark green token in his hand. Moreover, he let out a series of explosive roars. The moment that command talisman shattered, a majestic aura instantly rose up and filled the void. When that dark demon god's fist smashed over, circles of dark air currents also blocked it. When that dark demon god's fist smashed against the dark air currents, it was as though it had smashed into cotton. It did not cause too much of a commotion, but its power was completely neutralized. Oh. Life Fall King frowned and raised his head to look ahead. Haha, Life Fall King, with your status and strength you actually attacked one of my subordinates. Isn't that a little too much? Within the dark chi flow, a hearty laughter rang out. Following that, a hazy figure slowly appeared in front of everyone. This hazy figure was quite tall, and the aura it emitted was extremely unique. As for its appearance, no one could see it clearly. However, even if no one could see his face clearly, they could still guess his identity. Sorcerer God. Jian Wushuang's eyes were cold. The Sorcerer God sect had always stood together with the 3 Saint Realms. Back on the Saha Island, the Sorcerer God had appeared and killed him together with the 3 Masters of the Saint Realm, but he had been repelled by him. Now Jian Wushuang saw the Sorcerer God again. However, judging from his appearance, the Sorcerer God should be just a consciousness avatar, not the real body. Sorcerer God, are you going to stop me? Life Fall King stared at the Sorcerer God coldly. No matter what, Yama is my subordinate. If you want to kill him, I can't pretend that I didn't see it, the Sorcerer God said with a faint smile. So, you want to make an enemy of me in the Tsang Heaven world? Life Fall King said coldly. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 3497 The Final Kill, Making an Enemy Out of You, Making an Enemy Out of the Tsang Heaven World? The Sorcerer God frowned. To be honest, he was not afraid of a single Life Fall King, but if it was the entire Tsang Heaven World, then it would be completely different. The Tsang Heaven World was an extremely powerful force even in the universe battlefield. Although it was quite far away from the divine beginning realm, the influence of the Tsang Heaven World could still reach here. if they really became enemies with the entire Cang Heaven world? There were quite a number of ruler-level experts in the Cang Heaven world, and there were quite a number of them who were stronger than him. Some of the top existences among them even had the qualifications to kill him directly. Hence, the sorcerer god was more or less afraid of the Cang Heaven world. Life Fall King, although we haven't had much contact before, I still know your great name in the Cang Heaven world behind you. Your Cang Heaven world is the mortal enemy of the Fantasy Alliance, and am clear about this. However, this subordinate of mine isn't a member of the Fantasy Alliance. If I say that protecting him is equivalent to offending the entire Cang Heaven world, isn't that a little unreasonable? The sorcerer god said in a low voice. What a joke. This subordinate of yours has cultivated the illusory heaven technique of the Fantasy Alliance. How can he not be considered a member of the Fantasy Alliance? Even if he isn't, he has a great relationship with the Fantasy Alliance. Our Cang Heaven world naturally has to be killed. Life Fall King said coldly. Pluto has cultivated the illusory heaven technique, but this is just a fortuitous encounter where he obtained the cultivation method of the Fantasy Heaven technique. He has never had any contact with the Fantasy Alliance. You should be able to see this point. After all, if he really had any contact with the Fantasy Alliance, he would have long been brought to the Fantasy Alliance's lair to cultivate. Why would he stay under my command? Sorcerer God said. Who knows why he would stay under your command? In any case, kill him just in case. Life Fall King snorted coldly. Life Fall King. The sorcerer god's voice became gloomy. I have already explained it over and over again. Do you still want to be so aggressive? Alright, I will tell you now. This Yama King is my sole slave. He has long been controlled by my consciousness and is my most loyal servant. You should also know a little about my background. I have nothing to do with the Fantasy Alliance. Sole slave. Life Fall King's expression changed, and there was a hint of surprise between his brows. If Pluto was only a subordinate of the sorcerer god, then Life Fall King had a reason to kill him. But if it was the sorcerer god's sole slave, then Pluto's consciousness was completely controlled by the sorcerer god. Then it did not matter whether Pluto was related to the Fantasy Alliance or not. As long as the sorcerer god did not have any entanglement with the Fantasy Alliance, it would be fine. As for the sorcerer god's background, of course Life Fall King knew some things. Indeed, he would not have any entanglement with the Fantasy Alliance. Sorcerer god, you said that he was your sole slave. How do you prove this? Life Fall King asked. It's very simple. I asked him not to resist. You just need to use your soul power to check if he has my soul imprint in his body, the sorcerer god said. But before you check, I have to warn you. Don't do anything to him in the dark. After all, this slave is quite useful to me. If you dare to do something to him in the dark, then even if you are from the Cang Heaven world, I will have a way to make you pay the price. After all, this is the divine beginning realm. The restrictions you have here are much greater than mine. Don't worry. If he really is your soul slave, then I won't do anything to him. Life Fall King nodded. Then a wave of soul power directly covered Pluto. Pluto did not resist. In just a moment, Life Fall King withdrew that wave of soul power. How is it? Sorcerer God looked over. You're right. He is indeed your soul slave. In that case, I won't make things difficult for him for your sake, Life Fall King said. That's good. The sorcerer god nodded slightly. But at this moment, Jianghu spoke. Sorcerer god, Life Fall King was generous and did not kill your soul slave. But today's matter has nothing to do with your sorcerer god sect. If you still want to get involved, I'm afraid you won't be able to keep your soul slave. What Jianghu said was the truth. Although Life Fall King would not attack again because Life Fall King had just broken Yama's illusion sky skill and the power of the pearl was still surrounding the surrounding void in this place. Yama would not be able to use the illusion sky skill again. As long as there was no illusion sky skill, Elder Dark Bone could easily defeat or kill him. As for the sorcerer god himself, he was just a consciousness clone. His combat strength was not very strong, so he did not have much influence on the situation on the battlefield. Heavenly Sword Marquis. The sorcerer god looked at Jianghu with a strange look in his eyes and then smiled. Little guy, last time I suffered a great loss at your hands. I thought I would not be able to deal with you so quickly. I did not expect that things would be unpredictable. Now we have seen it. That's because you're too lenient. Otherwise there wouldn't be so much trouble, Jianghu said. Maybe, but today's matter doesn't have much to do with us. Originally we just wanted to be a peacemaker, but we didn't expect to get into such a situation. Well, since we can't be good people, we won't get involved in this matter. Do whatever you want. Goodbye. The sorcerer god said, his figure disappeared. As for Yama, because of the existence of the Netherjade 5-kill array, he could not leave directly. He simply flew to the edge of the void and closed his eyes, no longer paying attention to the matter in front of him. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. When the sorcerer god's consciousness avatar disappeared, it was clear that Yama did not intend to attack again. This made the Blood Master and Da Ying immediately despair. Despair. Yes, despair. Without other helpers, how could the two of them resist Elder Darkbone and Demon Master Qinhua? Not to mention the Netherjade 5-kill formation and Jian Wushuang's existence. They could not escape from the inescapable net and had almost no hope of survival. Blood Master and Da Ying, you two should go on your way as soon as possible, Jian Wushuang said coldly. Elder Darkbone and Demon Master Qinhua both smiled coldly. They immediately attacked Blood Master and Da Ying. No. It's over, it's over. Blood Master and Da Ying had completely lost hope. The only thing they could do now was to try their best to survive longer. However, their efforts were clearly in vain. After all, the gap between them was too big. Da Ying was already heavily injured and his strength was greatly reduced. Under the attack of Elder Darkbone, he could not hold on for long before he was directly killed by Elder Darkbone. Then Elder Darkbone joined hands with the Demon Master Qinhua and killed the Blood Master in a very short time. From then on, both the Blood Master and Da Ying were killed. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 3498 left Jian Wushuang and the others were very happy that their trip had ended perfectly with the death of Da Ying and the Blood Master, despite the unexpected incident with Yama. Especially Shower and Spirit Ancestor. For Shower, Da Ying was a thorn in her heart. If she could not kill him, she would not be able to control the Nine-Tailed clan in peace. But now that Da Ying was dead, this thorn in her heart was gone. In the future, she would naturally be able to do whatever she wanted. Only then would her long-term goal be truly accomplished. As for the Spirit Ancestor, her killing intent toward the Blood Master was unprecedentedly strong. The Blood Master had a grudge against her for killing her husband. For countless years, the Spirit Ancestor had dreamed of killing him, but now he had finally succeeded. He's dead. He's finally dead. Haha, this bastard is finally dead. Husband, you can finally rest in peace. Spirit Ancestor laughed, her laughter was filled with madness, and her eyes were wet with tears. When the people around saw this, they also secretly sighed. Elder Darkbone, Demon Master Qinhua, Marquis Duanyu, and others had also removed the Netherjade 5-kill formation and walked over. Everyone, thank you for your help this time. Marquis, am very grateful, Jian Wushuang said solemnly. Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master looked at each other and smiled. They had long received orders from Star Palace Master to help Jian Wushuang with all their strength, so they would do their best. As for Elder Darkbone, he just smiled faintly. Little guy, don't be too polite. I'm not helping you for free. You have to remember that you owe me a favor this time. You have to pay me back in the future. Of course. In the future, no matter what your orders are, as long as I can do it, I won't refuse, Jian Wushuang said. Don't worry. You'll definitely help me soon, Elder Darkbone said with a strange smile. Well, since we're done here, I'll leave with Life Fall King. This is my message token. I'll use it to contact you when I ask for your help in the future. Elder Darkbone handed a message token to Jian Wushuang, then he left with Life Fall King. Jian Wushuang looked at Shower. Miss Shower, Da Ying is dead. There will be no more trouble in the Nine-Tailed clan. You can control the Nine-Tailed clan without any worries. Now that the Blood Master is dead, the Blood clan will be in chaos. If you are ambitious, you can take the opportunity to attack the Blood clan and continue to strengthen your strength. Blood clan? Shower narrowed her eyes and shook her head. During this period of time, the demon realm has changed too much. Because of my previous actions, the Nine-Tailed clan has become the focus of attention. The various races in the demon realm, including the other two great divine clans, the Ancient Clan and the Dark World Clan, have already been on guard against the Nine-Tailed clan. If our clan continues to attack the Blood clan at this time, it will be very easy for us to become the target of everyone in the demon realm. It's better not to act rashly for the time being. Please keep reading on MYB0XN0VL, D0T, C0M. Besides, although the Blood Master is dead, the overall strength and foundation of the Blood clan are still there. It's not easy for the Nine-Tailed clan to swallow the Blood clan. It's up to you to decide. As for me, I've done my best to help you. Now that the troubles of the Nine-Tailed clan have been solved, I can leave, Jian Wushuang said. You're leaving in such a hurry? Xiao was surprised. Yes, I've killed the Blood Master and fulfilled the agreement with the Spirit Ancestor. I'll go back to the second heaven immediately to finish the thing that's important to me. I've been waiting for that for too long, so I don't want to delay it, Jian Wushuang said. Okay, but your parents? Xiao looked at him and asked. They've been in the demon realm for a long time, so they're used to it. Besides, my second brother has just married Princess Ying of the Blood Marten clan, so he hasn't thought about leaving yet. In that case, let them stay in the demon realm for now. After a while, I'll personally pick them up and bring them back to the Endless Territory, Jian Wushuang said. Jian Wushuang had asked Zhui Yunfeng, Luo Xinqin, and the others when they came to the demon realm. They had been in the demon realm for thousands of years and were used to it. Although they were looking forward to returning to their hometown, they were not in a hurry. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Moreover, Zhuo Peng and Princess Ying had just married, so they were not in a hurry to go back. Therefore, Jian Wushuang had decided not to take them back to the Sorcerer God's realm for the time being. He would personally escort them back to the Sorcerer God's realm after his business was over. Miss Shower, he'll get rid of you for the time being and continue to take care of them for a while, Jian Wushuang said. Don't worry. As long as the Nine-Tailed clan is still around, no one can touch them, Shower said. Thank you, Jian Wushuang said with a smile. Then he looked at Axe One Master, Marquis Duanyu and Star Saint Master and asked, What are your plans? We've already said that we'll listen to your arrangements for the time being. However, our identities are a little sensitive, so it's not suitable for us to move around in the primordial divine realm. Therefore, we'll return to Star Palace first. If you have any instructions, you can send us a message at any time. We'll be there immediately, Axe One Master said. In that case, I'll have to trouble the three of you, Jian Wushuang said. Axe One Master smiled and the three of them turned to leave. Jian Wushuang heaved a sigh of relief when he saw Axe One Master and the other two leave. Axe One Master, Marquis Duanyu, Star Saint Master. These three are experts from Star Palace, which was created by Taoist Shen Shen and has a very delicate relationship with the Seven Stars mysterious sect. The reason why they did their best to help me and even said that they were willing to follow my orders was because of my identity. However, from their actions I can tell that I am very important to the Seven Star mysterious sect and the Star Palace. However, Axe One Master just said that their identities are very sensitive and that it is not suitable for them to move around in the Divine Beginning realm. It seems like the three great saint domains also know about the existence of the Star Palace and are extremely against it. However, the three great saint realms clearly know about the existence of the Star Palace, yet they are unable to do anything to it. This also shows that the power of the Star Palace is definitely not weak. The Star Palace's strength was not weak. This point could be seen from Axe One Master and the other two. To send out 3-6 Void Realm Principles Masters at once, how many people in the Divine Beginning realm could achieve such an ability? It seems that if I have the chance in the future, I will have to personally go to the Star Palace to take a look. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.